You're so obsessed with double fit. Look, we are an elite podcast that only have a few follow. We're not like the pleb podcasts that have 60,000 million views and make loads of money. We're not like that. We're the elite ones that make no money at all.
Well, whereas your friend watches, you double the audience.
Yes, exactly.
At least we don't know. At least we know not to dumb down our fucking terms, hey?
Exactly.
True.
Or you know words, or he does.
Well, apparently.
Right, there we go. We are live.
I see as you bitches didn't
No,
buy me a
well,
McDonald's. Just sorry.
1,000 million views.
What?
You have McDonald's.
That's mine.
It was him.
Yeah, and I never treat anyone, so don't expect that.
He doesn't even treat me, and I give him a list. Look,
Maybe one day.
we are.
God, your laptop runs like poop.
It's good, isn't it?
Actually, I think for the Christmas one, I'm going to be cooking a little bit for like turkey.
Oh, nice.
So you guys can have turkey, like.
I certainly eat that, so
yeah.
I don't treat, but I do.
Oh,
receive treats.
Yeah, with a little garnish of salad, not loads.
Yeah.
Because I know you're all fucking carnivores.
Yeah. I can never be a vegan or a vegetarian. Or a fruitarian.
And I might make homemade Glow-Stoffian wedges with blue cheese.
Nice.
Cool.
Good.
And cranberry
Evening,
sauce.
Addy. Yay, it's finally here. If I do help it. Yeah, look, okay. Right.
It's not my fault.
It's not our fault, it's drunk friend's fault.
Yes.
Not even my drunk friend. Someone else's drunk friend's fault that we're late.
Yeah.
But we're here now, and is this recording? Have I started recording? Yes, I have. Noise table, no.
That's why I took it off.
Good man. Good Middlemeister. Good Middlemeister.
You learn your
Good
place.
Middlemeister.
Yeah.
It was.
Because let's put it this way, if I was in charge of the order, I would have been flipping my shit at this point. Things get aggressive when I'm in charge of
Yeah, I can see that actually.
You used to see us last week setting up the Silent Hill live stream. Was that like an hour and a half we were doing that? Yeah.
Crying out loud.
Yeah. That was a lot of. Yeah. There's a whole stream of us testing it.
Yeah. Look, it's got to be fucking done right, son. When I'm in charge.
I was saying to Nick, I watched quite a bit. I watched
Oh,
the
what
bit
were
where
those?
in the-
Yay!
in the fog.
See?
Oh,
We got
all of it.
And the bit at night.
And the bit with the thing that we hit with the stick.
Yeah.
Perhaps one day we'll do a calf press on the shirts. So, cool. Anyway, here we are. Podcast.
Yeah. Should we introduce ourselves?
Oh yeah, I'm TheSuffolkRam.
I'm Middlemeister.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 101.
Holy crap.
Yeah, of the Man Knows podcast.
Give it another 5 years.
Yeah. We're doing it. Well, it'll take. It should, in theory, only take us another 4 because we do 26 episodes a year, don't we? So in 4 years' time, we'll be for episode 200.
We
Yeah,
can
well,
start doing
that's
like
fine.
3 a day.
Yeah. But then our quality might drop.
Look, some things, you have to let a few things go, mate. And I mean, when you're as hardcore as we are.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Oh, Middlemeister, you sound down on that sort of hard idea.
Well, I wouldn't be a part of it, so go for it.
Oh, fucking
Yeah,
days.
you will.
I'd go to every 23rd episode if you did it that way.
Try to go for 21st.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Sure. Well,
Yeah.
take your numbers and stuff them firmly up your ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
what's
like
that?
we're like something really special that you don't want to overuse, you know.
That is very true.
You know, every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean,
When the numbers start to drop, we will you out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's watching the podcast. Tom, save us.
You would be desperate then.
Sit here, say something.
Tom works so well for MySpace. He's like some travel journalist now, isn't he? He just goes all around the world blogging, doesn't he?
I'm saying, what the fuck does he need to do anything?
Exactly.
He's got 8 billion.
He actually, to be fair, out of everybody, he's done alright on social media because he retired before all the evilness came out. So actually, everybody sort of looks back fondly on Tom. They're not going to look back fondly on Zuckerberg, are they?
What do you mean, the robot?
Yeah, exactly.
At least Tom was human.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. In 1,000 years when Zuckerberg's still...
When he's still rocking about.
Yeah. Do you remember there was talk before all this data stuff came out, there was talk that Zuckerberg was going to run for president? Yeah.
I can't imagine that.
No.
Would it be
I thought you had to
accurate?
be an American citizen to...
Wasn't he born in America?
He's a fucking alien or a robot.
Oh, I see.
He wasn't
Yeah.
born, he was
Gotcha.
Can you
created.
pass the test? The Von Camp test?
Yeah, but can...
You might have been manufactured in America, made in the USA.
Nothing's made in the USA.
Boston Dynamics.
Oh.
He's made by Boston Dynamics.
we better get the fuck out of here because we've been kicking them things.
Yeah, it's made everything. Yeah, I don't like it. Bosses those cruel to their robots. I'm sitting thinking this is what the robots are going to play back to us when they take over. Say, see, this is why you're being turned to batteries.
Oh shit! This is where it all began. That one YouTube.
That one video of the guy stopping that robot opening the door.
It's like, how dare you be so cruel?
I feel so. Oh, there's the one where they have big dog where they kick it. That dog that's right. They just kick it and it staggers, and it looks so freaky. It's freaky how it moves. I just felt so bad for it afterwards. So how can you be cruel to that?
Yeah, they're pretty stupid dog robots, aren't they?
I know, but it's still feel mean. You wait till your first time the apocalypse.
That's gonna be like real.
I for one welcome our robot overlords.
I think I'll do alright in the zombie apocalypse. You got to be lucky at the beginning though. You got to start out lucky.
You're very lucky.
I think I'll be.
Let's be honest. Odds are in the zombie apocalypse we're going to be one of the living dead wandering around eating brains.
I think I'll be alright.
Why?
We'd fucking starve out in this town then.
I'd just kill anyone that got
No,
away.
Justin will still be around.
I wouldn't have any, emotion to it.
And just eat fucking deep fried brain.
Nico, last.
Yes,
Have you eaten?
I have.
Okay. You don't want anything to eat.
No, I'm absolutely fine, thank you.
Thomas?
I'm good, thanks. Had my McDonald's.
Cooking yours then, though.
See, this is how podcasts have moved on now. Episode 101, we have room service on episode 101 of the podcast.
Okay.
I don't think we've even mentioned a game yet either.
No, we haven't. It's good. Isn't it?
What
So,
games?
Middlemeister, why don't you kick us off then?
Oh yeah.
Now, right, Skazz, we're going to be quiet for this, aren't we? He moaned over today that we talk about. We dare to have a bit of banter, a little bit of fun while he describes his game. So I'm going to be completely silent.
It wasn't banter. There was the fact that I never actually got a word in about Resident Evil last time.
You did.
Barely. I managed to make the title.
You
mentioned the title of the game.
You talked about the enemies
thing.
you fought. You talked about the fact you put her in a bin repeatedly.
And that was about it.
There you go.
That's the best
all you
part.
need to know about Resident Evil.
Shall I talk about the game or
Says,
shall I...
good news. We was not forced to eat any cake. Twitch decided to tank, and I was about to drive back home anyway. Hopefully that means something to you.
Yes.
Good. Right, Middlemeister, talk.
Alright. I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2, obviously. I think anyone could have guessed that. I think people have heard of this game. I don't think it's...
I've just had a drunk review.
Oh yeah. It's, so you start out in the wilderness in like a snowy kind of...
Stop.
Yep.
Is this a direct follow? As stupid as this sounds, is this a direct follow-up from the first one? So are you playing as the main character's son?
No, it's a prequel. Yeah.
I thought Resident Evil was meant to be like the end of the cowboy era.
It kind of is. The original one is kind of towards the death of outlaws, and this is also that kind of period where that kind of stuff isn't really very feasible anymore because towns are getting bigger and they have sort of sheriffs and all their deputies and towns, trains and things like that.
They're better connected, aren't they?
Yeah, they're making the world more civilised. Phone lines are starting to be erected, so it's harder for them to get away with this kind of stuff, this kind of behaviour anymore. And they kind of, a lot of the game does spend time sort of lamenting that, right? The death of the cowboy, and in that sense, of the cowboy anyway, the kind of the outlaw and the roguish bad guys. So John Marston is in this one.
Oh.
But the leader of the gang you're with, who you spend the time with, it's a good group of characters. That guy is Dutch, and he's the villain in Red Dead, the original. Because John Marston sort of tries to take him out.
Red Dead.
Yeah, but he's like, has a very, very dark ending, the original Red Dead. But anyway, obviously because you mentioned the son. But that's this one. You start out kind of on the run because your character, you don't see it, but your group attacked this town called Blackboard, which is also in the original, and they're on the run because the Pinkertons, like they're kind of like detectives, but they're almost like an FBI kind of.
They're a private police force, weren't they?
Yeah, they're not.
They're not nice people.
No, they work for bad guys, and you're on the run from them, so you hide out way up in the mountains with all the snow, which features the most realistic snow ever, I think, as well.
Yeah.
You're kind of trapped out there. It looks amazing, but a few people have kind of written reviews about the game after playing it for about 2 hours and saying, well, it's nothing like we were told it was going to be. Because obviously, when you start out any open world game, it's normally quite contained when you first start.
They have to establish.
Rockstar games, especially, all their GTA games start a very slow burn. So when you sort of like a few hours in, does actually sort of kick off proper.
Yeah, they try and teach you the basics. As always, it's kind of like a mini tutorial. They show you the very basics, but a lot of what happens later in the game, you just kind of stumble across, and you have to figure out a lot yourself. It doesn't just say, "Oh, do this." You kind of have to figure out yourself, and that's one of the charms of the game. But you start out in the wilderness, little cabin that you find, and your group just kind of holds into this cabin with a light the fire. And then you go out and you learn how to hunt. You do like a hunting mission to get deer to feed the camp. There's a character, John Marston, who's missing, so you go and find him up in the mountains somewhere. So you kind of learn riding a horse and following another character, the mechanics for that. And then you slowly kind of start to do a few little story missions within that. You start to learn the various characters. And then I think it took me about 3 hours and a bit, and then you leave there. And you start heading down in these big caravans, and you get to your first main camp, which is where that's like chapter 1 really starts. You do a little prologue, and then chapter 1 you're at this camp, and the camp works a little bit, not quite the same way, but a little bit like kind of Mass Effect, sort of 2 and 3 mission. Where you have your ship.
Yeah, the Normandy.
Yeah, you go out and do missions. You can come back, and they'll have missions for you, and sometimes sub-missions, sometimes main missions come from there, and then. You also have like a little camp kitty where you put money in, where you can upgrade the camp, improve your tent, improve the boss's tent, do all the ones around to kind of improve morale, improve the butcher stand so that he has more food on offer. Eventually you get like a boat that you can dock and go out and fish. And a lot of the little sort of ideas of the game come later on, like fishing isn't something, you don't have a fishing rod from the start, you get the fishing rod by doing your mission. But the only problem with that is there's a mission early on where it's very difficult to fail this mission, but for some reason if you fail the mission and you retry from checkpoint, I'm not sure how, but it somehow breaks the game a little bit, and you never get the mission to get the fishing rod until way late, like chapter 4 instead of the end of chapter 2. Right. I don't know why, but so you can't fish until way later on. I don't know, there's some little little bug, but
like a script and hiccup, or
yeah, something like that, because you get it from the son of one of the characters, and I'm not sure how it happens, but for some reason if you fail that mission and retry like at a checkpoint rather than retry the whole mission, that does some kind of weird issue, but I don't know why. It didn't happen to me, because that mission is very, very difficult not to succeed in, because it's short and easy, really easy.
Walk 3 steps forwards.
It's almost, you just have to fight someone, and it's very straightforward. So when you get to this first camp, you kind of go out, and the first sort of town you visit is Valentine, and it's everything in the game does look absolutely amazing. There's some, incredible to believe that this is on the console as well.
Yeah, it does look very good.
Rockstar very good at the open world consoles. I mean, GTA 5 was really fast. They just know how to get the power. They must have they should have a very good engine.
Yeah, I think the thing about the graphics, not just how amazing they look, is the amount of detail they put into it. Like the mud. If it rains, you get the dirt turns to mud, and rain drips off the top of buildings and through trees and things like that. And if you roll in the mud or fall in the mud, it only gets to the part of you that fell. If you go into the water, the mud, mud and blood and stuff starts to run off, and you see it run off. There's all these tiny little incredible details, and then so many little things to do. Like if you get dirty and muddy and smelly, characters will avoid you, and they won't want to talk to you, and they'll think, well, he's not nice. So you can have it like there's hotels in some of the towns. There's one in Valentine where you can have like a bath, and then you get sort of scrubbed down, and then when you do that, also cleans your clothes. So you can do that. You can sleep to kind of just rest your character and save, that sort of thing. I mean, there's lots of little places you can go and visit. So if you go on, like I went out on a sort of exploring the world, and I came across a guy who was running this little circus, and he was like a man dressed as a woman, because he was playing a part, and obviously only men could even play women's roles still at this point. And he asks you to find a lion, a zebra, and like a tiger that he's got loose. So you find you get the locations on the map. So you go and find like the zebra, and you realise there's a donkey that's been painted black and white to make it look like a zebra. And you go and find a lion, and there's a dog that's been groomed away to make it look like a lion, but that's been killed by what he said was the tiger. And the tiger is actually not like a tiger, but it's like a wildcat, American sort of sort of wildcats that they have there, and that kills.
Puma, is it, or
something like that, or like a mountain lion, that kind of but it's that kind of thing, and that killed the poor dog. So you take the dog and you put it back into the caravan, and then hope that lures the fake tiger in, and it does, and that works, and you sort of lock it up. And he said, could you just go find my last lion, like another dog. So you go to a farm and they've barricaded the door, and you're like, don't be stupid, it's just a dog that looks like a lion. So you go in there and you hear like this huge loud roar, and then they break through the barn, and then you go out there and you see that a couple of people have been killed, and they you have to go look for it, and then you find it and you realise it's an actual real proper lion, and you have to kill it, unfortunately.
Misdirection, man.
Yeah, you just assume, even as a player and certainly as a character, that he's just a lion, a fake lion. So you kill that because you have to kill it. There's no really other option to save it. You go back to him, and he's like, "No, it's a shame you have to kill it." And that sort of the mission, but that's just like a random strange mission that happens all the time.
Well, I'll show you the killer, but oh well.
Yeah, but you kind of had no option, and I think you understand that. So that you succeed the mission, and then there's lots of little bits like that where you'll find one random stranger and it might take 2 minutes, but sometimes you find it and it's like a proper mission that branches out. And your character as well is Arthur Morgan is the name of the character, and he's a really likeable character actually. Like the facial animation and it's brilliant, and all the voice actors are really sort of top quality and very committed to the roles. It's played quite. There are some funny moments and jokes and stuff, but it is played quite straight. That's all.
That part was sad. I'd kill the guy.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. What, killing the lion?
I assume so.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite sad, but in a way, I suppose. I did feel quite bad. I do feel quite bad when I had to hunt and kill like the wild animals and stuff, because you can you get the lasso and then sort of stab them. I do feel quite bad when they cry out and stuff, but
Yeah, it's not like Farcry where you sort of like shoot them from a distance with a rifle, they just die. It's like,
yeah, you can do that obviously, but you get better meat if you get up close without having to shoot them a bunch of times.
Up close and personal.
Yeah, because they're not like full of buckshot and stuff. You get close.
Start shooting on it like.
Oh. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and you find lots of these. You find camps. Sometimes they're bandit camps. Sometimes they're just like some guy and his dog hanging out, and they invite you to stay. Some of them hate you, and there's a lot of. You start out sort of, like I say, in the snowy mountains, and you go down to, it's not quite desert because this is more eastern, so there's a lot more vegetation and greenery in this one. And you go a little bit further, you find it's called Saint Denis, but it's basically a very early New Orleans. Swamps, alligators. That's like when I hog-tied that guy and left him by a lake, and alligator came out and got him.
Like, oops.
But it's not like in the Mafia 3, that was like a scripted thing that would happen the same way every time. This is. Changes, yeah.
Depends
just
on if
how
there
it
happens to be
really.
an alligator in the
Yeah, it's there rather than just by a lake and then alligator will get it, and also a bird came down and sort of pecked at him, and he was like, get rid of it, and he was obviously because he was hog-tied, he wasn't able to fend it off, so it just got him and dragged him down into the water and everything. There's loads of little bits like that where it's tiny sort of fun little details, and I think that's what they've spent these almost I think 6-7 years just nailing.
Longer than that, wasn't it?
Sorry?
It's longer than that, wasn't it?
I think the full was about 8 years from beginning concept and the whole kind of process of it. And there is, I think that the sense of immersion is really good in that, because
every video I've looked at of it does look pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And you feed bodies to pigs.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can do that as a mission actually as well. And they sort of spend a lot of time on that, and the lighting, and everything looks lovely. So it's not just like, but it's not a tech demo. Play, the missions and the story it's one of the best stories from Rockstar in a long time. And once you get used to the controls, it kind of starts to work really well. It's a bit wonky at first, and he's a bit clumsy, but once you start to get used to the feel of it, it actually kind of makes sense and feels quite realistic.
So, I think it's the same engine as GTA.
Yeah.
GTA always was very clumsy. Have they improved that?
They have improved it. Deadeye is always quite helpful because that's the thing where you slow down and pinpoint each baddie, and when you get it to a certain level, you can you tap R1 and you can pick like headshots on all of them, and it's a little bit better. Shooting's pretty straightforward. He's still a little bit, he's still a little bit clumsy and a little bit fally over, but if you've, it really does feel like when I played it for a while, I kind of felt it was basically like playing Westworld, kind of that sense of really being in the Wild West. There's the train that goes through that's great fun. I hijacked the train and all that kind of thing, and you get hunted down and you get bounties if you're witnessed killing someone, you have to go pay the bounty or they come after you. You can also do bounty hunts where you go and find these various ne'er-do-wells and collect the bounty on them.
I love that you can often get bounty, but you can also go bounty other people.
Yeah, we go to the sheriff's thing and he says, I don't care if you've got a bounty on you, we need to catch this guy, and you get both.
This guy's killed
posters.
2 people, you've killed 1,000, but this guy's killed 2.
I actually haven't killed many people because you have an honour scale where you can max out your honour or max out your bad guyness, and I'm pretty high up on the honour scale now, and I have played this game a hell of a lot, put in loads and loads and loads. I don't know how many hours because unfortunately it doesn't say, but it's absolute masses of hours, probably for this type of game anyway, at least I'd say 40 hours so far, and I'm only 32% done on the story and 45 I think on the overall kind of thing in the game, because you, like I say, you find strange missions all over the place. It's fun to fish, it's fun just to ride around and find things and buy guns, buy outfits, make your character look really cool, grow a big bushy beard or have it all nicely trimmed, haircuts. You have to look after your character because you can get a bit underweight. It's not like overbearing, but you go and eat in a saloon. Yeah, it's not taken to that kind of RPG level. You can, you can beef them up a bit. You can get a bit chubby and stuff, but
All I was always thinking was, here comes the train.
you can do that, yeah. Yeah.
That won't mean everything to our audio listeners, but
no. But yeah, that's certainly not disappointing. I'd say it's probably my game of the year so far.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because it's very.
That time is coming up.
Yeah, because it looks stunning and it plays really well. And the missions, the story, the characters. You can tell how much time. Rockstar basically give themselves pretty much unlimited time and money to make the game. Really.
Now we know those shark cards were going.
Yeah, that $1 billion a month for once for GTA kind of. Also, horses are great. I did try to test out.
How realistic are the horses? Are they sufficiently well endowed?
Yes, and their testicles shrink and enlarge depending on the weather they're in. So if they're in the cold, if you're
imagine the person that model that.
No, if you're in a really cold bit, their testicles shrivel up. But if you're out in a nice temperate area, they enlarge again.
Just imagine that on the CV. What was your last big project? I modelled horse testicles.
Yeah, that's one of the things. And they bounce and shake around in real time as well.
No, this is like going by pissing. Have they got their own physics attached to it?
That's what I was about to say. That's what's on your CV. Testicle physics.
They do wobble about in a realistic fashion, so I suppose they do. Yeah, they obviously move, and you have to look after the horse as well. You can't just
That sounds so wrong after you've been talking about horses' testicles.
Yeah, take care of the horse. Yeah. No, you have to brush it.
I'm not sure it's euphemism. I'm just going to go take care of the horse.
You have to brush the mane. Have to brush it to keep it clean, because if it's dirty, it won't loses some of its stamina. Stamina core.
I was going to say, I've never known dirt to slow down a horse, Eddie.
No, it's just not happy if it's like that. And you feed him, you can pat him, and and then you get a horse bonding level, and the closer you are to the horse, the better you are.
The closer you are to the horse, so you can pat him, can you? I see.
Well, horses do like people, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not in that. Obviously, just patting.
How close are you getting to this horse?
Just patting the head, not that head, the top head.
Yeah.
And I like my horse as well. I got 3, but the current horse is my best one. You can stave up to 4.
So which one's your horse on the side?
Well, you can name the horses. I've got Quicksilver, Nightmare, and I can't remember the other one. I keep meaning to name one Roach after Witcher, but I keep forgetting. But I can't remember what my current one's called. But they're all pretty awesome. You get a normal sort of general horse. You can get a racing horse that's really quick.
You've got your general horse, you've got your off-road
Do you know
horse.
what? Well, Rob, can you
have to,
remember
really.
about episode 13? We were joking about horses and how you could have horses represent different types of vehicles in games. So you had the big Shire horse being the like the SUV type horse, the race horse being the sports horse, and it's been implemented. We predicted
they
that.
kind of do work that way. Yeah, obviously there's lots of little things you can do.
Hi, Rockstar.
This convo sounds so wrong, Lemon. You should have been listening to the conversation we're having before we started broadcasting. Poor Middlemeister. Well,
I am. Yeah, no,
he's scarred for life now.
yeah. I've developed a mild twitch from it. Anyway, yeah. So you can do lots. Rob stage coaches, get random missions. The main story missions are excellent. You can, like I say, you can fish, hunt.
You can fish as long as you don't glitch the quest.
Yeah, because luckily I had no issue with that. But yeah, apparently people have had that issue. I think it's 5 or I'm not sure how many chapters because I'm still only on chapter 3. Even though like I said to you
it's a weird bug because Rockstar games are usually pretty solid actually. For because they're usually quite compared to like say Bethesda. They're usually quite a solid game normally.
To be fair, considering the size of this game, I've barely ran into any bugs at all, like tiny little minor ones, but considering the size of it, it's pretty impressive.
Bethesda don't actually release games. They don't. They
release game engines with some mods attached.
It's like, well, I thought you said that you were working on a game.
Yeah.
This looks like something that you released, 10 years ago, and even then it was horribly broken and still is.
I usually wait 6 months before I buy a Ubisoft game. Because that's normally about, if I can anyway, Farcry did ahead of time, but normally they take about 6 months to start ironing out most of their bugs, sort of Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Because they release their games kind of broken, really, a lot of the time.
Nowhere near as bad as Bethesda. They
No.
hold that record.
I still love the Elder Scrolls games.
Or they release their games too easy.
But yeah, no, it's lived up to kind of most of my expectations anyway, because it's not for people that with short attention spans, and it's very the realism is pretty full on if you can't be bothered with that stuff, but I love all that, digging into the realism of it all and how much time, and you can go to a show and watch like a play or a comedy act and all that kind of thing, a magician.
Do trees grow in real time?
I don't think trees
The beard does though.
Yeah, the beard does, and one of the towns you go to in another place like out in the middle of nowhere, there's people building houses and the
horses' testicles grow in real time.
Yeah, and shrink.
And the other parts of horses grow in real time. Does the horse get excited if you go near female horses?
I don't think so.
You need to check that out. Can you do that research and get back to me?
Probably because I've got a male and a female horse, so I could try a male near a female and all that kind of stuff. I don't think it's not on the back of the box anyway.
What's the shrinking testicles in the back of the box though?
It did say this game will really test your abilities, so perhaps in that sense they have done. Yeah. That's it's a very, very good game, and this is before even I probably won't bother, but because the online the beta for it starts in November.
Oh no!
And I think they're not going to do the full thing until next year.
Oh no!
I don't know. Wild West online game could be pretty. They're going to wait. They're going to really take their time.
It worked so well for GTA, didn't it?
I did eventually. It just took them a year. They made more money than
for the
anything now.
And
yeah, I think that'll take a
How
while.
was your GTA Online experience? Would you say it was good, Skazz, or would you say it was bad?
No PC for this one though, so it might not be quite such a bad thing. No PC version.
I'm dignified with a flatter response.
But yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I might not bother with that, but see what kind of generals. I think GTA 5 started out not at the very beginning, but at least it was easy to buy stuff, and I think later on it became so impossible to buy anything unless you got the shark cards. Yeah. But yeah, no,
We've had the same is true with the single player game. It's so hard to get money. It's so hard to get money in a single player game.
I think obviously this game's broken records again for fastest selling entertainment thing ever. So obviously lots of people are out there enjoying it.
I know many people who are addicted to that game right now.
Yeah.
To be honest, I said I've always said I'd never buy a console to play a game. I still wouldn't. But it's certainly like, oh, I wish they moved that to PC. I was so annoyed they brought Red Dead Redemption across.
They are both brilliant games. I love last one. I
If
love
I could
this
pick
one.
up, that was PS3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
If I could pick up PS3
360
like
and
50 quid and have it, I would probably do that.
Yeah.
Like 50 quid, I'd probably do it. But
360 as well.
yeah, well, I want a console that works.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's kind of just taken that to a whole new level, really. It's a lot more. The main character's a lot. I know you like the GTA characters, but the main character's a lot more likeable than the GTA 5 group. So, you know.
Yeah, 5 characters grew on me in a silly way. Particularly Trevor. I hated Trevor when I first met him, but he grew on me towards the end. He's he just doesn't give a shit. I kind of like that.
This one. This one is.
They're meant to, the characters in GTA 5 were meant to represent the 3 types of players. You had the newbie player in Franklin, who was sort of like getting started out.
Yeah.
The experienced player with Michael, who had already got to the top and so forth. Then Trevor's the I don't give a shit player.
Yeah, the one
who just goes around and just randomly just kill people for the hell of it and fun. Just randomly murders. He just randomly murders people, but he just wants to have fun. And laughing.
Yeah.
There's a mission
where
where
rape as well.
Yeah, there was a mission where he there's this mad old couple who just want like the celebrity, so he kills the celebrity for them, and they lock him up in a lockup, and then he gets they get annoyed because he doesn't want to be in the lockup, so he says, "Well, let's face it, you've got to kill him, or you've got to set him free," and you can choose whether you like kill or set him free. And he just has this conversation with the celebrities. I like Trevor.
These characters are a lot more well-rounded than the ones in GTA 5. A lot of them are a lot more likeable as well. And, you know, silly old foolish. I did run into a gold prospector who was doing the old, the gold sifting.
Yeah.
And he was getting really, really frustrated because I kept walking near and he kept thinking I was going to steal his gold. And eventually he did find one. He did the old old man jig thing and then ran off on his horse, laughing and giggling. There's lots of tiny little moments and cinematic, properly dramatic bits where you get this train go across this huge bridge and just these moments that Rockstar does brilliant, where it's just happens dynamically out in the world, but sometimes it just looks perfect, like it looks like it's scripted, but it's just part of the way they make their games.
Rockstar have always been good at doing open worlds.
Yeah, it's great. It's a beautiful open one. There's lots to come across as well all the time,
They also, I think, quite good at sort of the side character AI, just sort of randomly doing things.
Oh yeah, the people that walk around and things like that. They all, they all have their day jobs and then they go home and they all have this sort of routine. The AI is very, very impressive as well.
Yeah.
I
saw one guy who said that there's apparently like a random side quest you can get where this guy asks you to give him a lift home because otherwise his wife will shout at him and tell him off. He decided not to, so he followed the guy home. So the guy was someone's home. He gets to his house. The wife tells him off and locks him out of the house.
That is
amazing. That's just a random side. That's sort of detail.
Yeah.
So despite everything we not about Rockstar, they're online man, their way they treat their players, but they do actually make a decent open world.
I actually trampled on a dog as well. Didn't kill it, and then the dog chased me halfway across the map, even though I was on my horse, barking at me. Dogs are kind of dicks in that game, actually, but Yeah, I can't think many dogs. That doesn't seem totally realistic. The dog would chase you for. No, it wasn't very happy with me.
How big is the map? Is it a decent size?
Oh yeah, it's huge. It's not probably not as big as GTA 5 because obviously you can't get in a car or a plane or a helicopter or anything. So it doesn't, Yeah, I know. But that's not going to go 200 miles per hour, is it?
But you can't always do 200 miles an hour in GTA 5.
In a jet, you can.
No, in single. Well, you get hold of one, but
yeah. But no, it's still a massive map. No Mexico, unfortunately, which I loved. Red Dead Redemption Mexico was one of the best bits, but still, huge open world. You certainly won't think, oh, this is a bit small. Still,
I am tempted.
Massive.
There is a PS4 in the house, but if I could be tempted to purchase it.
It does look good on a base PS4. You still get 1080p and all that from it, so it's, it runs well on the base PS4. There's no issues with it. They've really
most of the footage I saw was from a base PS4.
Yeah,
I was very surprised.
Yeah, it's amazing what they've fit on one of them. Yeah, it's still perfectly perfect. Runs really nicely.
Yeah.
Usually tries to stick to 30 or near 30.
So. Everything I've seen of it looks
it's
amazing.
unbelievably good looking game, you know, and I say it's not just the way it looks, it's all the detail they put into it, you know, thunderstorms and dynamic weather, all that kind of stuff really blows you away as well. The water, God, the water is unbelievable. I like good water in a game, and that really is impressive. Pretty much everything in it, like mud, snow, rain, water is the best I've seen so far, you know.
Cool.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool.
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Good. Are you happy with the level interruptions on that one?
that was good. That was good. That was questions and
good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little down by the fact it's a prequel, to be honest.
I think that's just to kind of, because the last one was quite close to the end of like the Wild West era. I think they just kind of want to go back a bit.
They established a new character right off, and then they're just like, nope, we're just going to go back and.
Well, that's what Division 3, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's just kind of the way they. Yeah, I know what you mean with the sun and everything, but he is in this one. But
sure.
Perhaps as it's the West game modernised and so forth, the next one will be called Red Dead Theft Auto, and it'll be a crossover.
The story is still so good that it's quite fun to see John Marston before he becomes like the main character, and it's quite nice to see those sort of characters early
I
on.
imagine it would be
it's
just
quite fun.
A little bit.
We've been asked, is RDR2 on PC? It's not, unfortunately.
No,
like Red Dead never made it to PC.
Revolver never made it to PC.
No,
that was
but
fun.
Apparently there is some rumours it's going to make it to PC, but then there was rumours that RDR was going to make it to PC as well.
I think it might show up when PS5 and everything comes out, like they did with GTA 5.
I think it's got a better chance to make it to PC than RDR. I mean, to be fair, Rockstar have been a bit cool on the PC the last sort of decade or so. Yeah. They've not brought it across. They brought Bully across eventually, but several years late.
Let's see what that's on the way.
Yeah, but I might make it to PC, but unfortunately at the moment it is not.
No.
So
in fairness, you can buy an Xbox One, disgusting console, but you can buy an Xbox One for about $1.50, or Microsoft will give you money to buy to get.
As long as you're not too bothered by resolution, because it's about 750p on a Xbox.
750,
something like that. It's barely 800p. Yeah, no, it's barely 800p. It's not like 1080p. It's above 720, but it's not 1080. It's like
what?
Yeah, but they've
that'd be very well. It would be a very Microsoft thing to do a weird resolution rather than standard.
They've had quite a lot of games be 900p on the Xbox One because they can't get up to the 1080p.
They would be weird, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they're not quite. That's one of those to say. I think it's like.
Hey, I love my Xbox One. Well,
yeah. If you've got an Xbox One X money, obviously that's a good way to play it. But it's obviously just a lot of money.
Wait to the next Xbox Zero, the Xbox Negative One.
God knows what they're going to name their next
console. Xbox Negative 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it would have been the Xbox. The next one would have been the next Xbox 1080 if they'd kept with their 360, 720 kind of route.
Yeah.
But
well, they always call it 360s. They wanted to be compared to the PlayStation 3, did they? So they thought, we can't call it Xbox 2 because it's the PlayStation 3, so we'll call it the 360.
Yeah, I guess they were determined to keep the Xbox brand.
I think there's a way to refer to the way of being a deaf, personally.
They always get too cocky. Like Sony got kind of too cocky after the PS2 and kind of bundled the whole PS3 thing for the first sort of couple of years, and then Microsoft had such a big hit with the 360, they got sort of cocky and bundled the whole Xbox One for the first till now really. They ballsed that up so badly in the beginning that it just cost them forever, really.
But I think the next is Scarlet. I'm assuming that's
a code name, Scarlet. Yeah.
So they should have called Windows Vista Longhorn. More people liked it. They kept calling it Longhorn.
They should have called the X the Scorpion.
Yeah, people would like that more. They call it. Yeah.
Or Scorpion.
XP was Whistler. What do they call 8? Shit. I can't remember what they call it.
Shit.
Shitty.
Windows shit.
PS4 was. They had like this whole Matrix thing. So that was the Neo, and then the PSVR was a Morpheus. They had some sort of codename Matrix codename thing going on. I don't know what
does Sony own the Matrix films? Was that?
Well, I think it must.
Because they're not keeping on brand if they're not.
I think you can still.
I'm all about branding now.
I think that was. I'm pretty sure that was 20th Century Fox. The whole Fox thing. But I know Warner Brothers. That's Warner Brothers Matrix. I remember the Warner Brothers, the green Warner Brothers symbol at the beginning. Yeah, Warner Brothers was that one.
I'm always a gen behind. Need to get a gaming PC. Yeah, and then you'll always be a gen in front.
Yeah, you won't be able to play, you know, God of War, Spider-Man, or Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, Spider-Man, who cares about that?
Or Horizon Zero Dawn. This is another. Or Persona 5.
Yeah, you get to, but you get thousands and thousands of lots of indie games that are decent and better.
Yeah, you get.
And other games that are better.
You
And you've got a whole back character
whole-
and backwards compatibility.
Yeah, you do. Well, not full backwards compatibility.
No, but better than like you've got a better chance than.
Not over the Xbox One. That's got great backwards compatibility.
No.
Plus, you know, PS4 does have some great indie games now, and Switch is a brilliant place to play and buy indie games
no,
now.
Switch is good.
Getting that way.
Yeah, that's heading
Better
there.
than PlayStation 4 at this point.
PS4 has some, but yeah.
Censorship.
Yeah.
Sony are censoring the ever-loving shite out of Japanese developers at the moment.
I never really go for the Japanese stuff now, but
Sure.
I like Castlevania Symphony of the Night was the sort of indie game, latest one.
1 second, what? You just said indie game. Indie game?
Well, I suppose
I
that
know
was
that they're fucking. I know
I
they're
suppose
out
Konami-
there in Pachinko land, but
I
they're
suppose
still not indie
Konami
developer.
and I suppose
that
that.
is like calling Valve an indie developer, isn't it? They technically are.
It feels like an indie game now, of course, but I know I see what you mean.
Well, yeah, sure. Like,
Yeah,
consider
indie
it's a
style,
very-
but
it's a very
bit of a big
ancient
budget.
style.
Yeah.
Skazz can help me pick out a good one. Yes, he can.
Mm.
Skazz will find you a PC that will run everything at high def graphics for 50 quid.
Yeah.
Well, that's what always made me chuckle. The Xbox One X, my burner machines were only a little bit worse off than the Xbox One X,
That does do.
and they're only like about 250 quid.
That is native 4K for Red Dead 2 now, which is very which I didn't see coming, but.
They're about to have done a fucking lot of what 30 frames ish, alright.
Yeah,
I'll let them have that 30 FPS at 4K. I've got a toaster that can do that. Don't worry about it, Microsoft.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah.
that's like work. That's like working in bullet time.
Yeah, sure it is.
30 FPS is the excuse the Nintendo Switch gets away with. I'll let the Nintendo Switch have that. But an Xbox One X at that price? No.
No, 60 all the way.
Meh. I actually preferred Last of Us on 30 when that came to PS4 because that felt more filmic. Because that had 60 frame on PS4, I preferred that on 30 because it felt more like.
I will
More
admit,
cinematic.
going from Monster Hunter in 30 FPS up to 60 on PC was quite jank. But then when I went back to 30 on PC, it just did not feel right.
Right, yeah.
Almost like it just wasn't. There was maybe just some optimization issues there. It just did not feel right at 30 on PC. When if I were to go back and play it on the console, it felt.
I think console developers could do it on consoles, but it doesn't. It's not something that looks really good on a press tour. You know, when they show videos of it, obviously 4K and high resolution stuff looks better. Rather than trying to, they've never seemed to be that bothered by trying to get the frame rate up. I think I'd like to see next gen like 60 frames.
Well, that's because
over 4K really.
60 frames isn't a normie thing, is it? Whereas 4K HDR, that's
good on
like
a box,
average,
isn't it?
average Joe public's like, oh, I've heard of the 4Ks.
Yeah, they can put it on big gold writing and HDR underneath.
I need that.
Oh, 4K,
Yeah.
I need to buy a new telly again.
Yeah.
I did buy a new telly for that, but. But yeah, no.
Sorry, I've just realised I've pushed my hair back. I've got a big forehead, so I need to put it forward again.
That's all right. I did wonder about milk partner and actually come in
Yeah,
here.
unfortunately,
after his rehab.
my dad has got a massive. I've got a
Oh,
massive
you do?
forehead like my
Yeah.
dad,
Yeah.
and it's like it's scary.
Have you ever seen that film Coneheads?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn that gory.
Again, the audio list is can't to partake of that.
No,
Let's
but-
check our subscribers. I think we last time I checked, we're on over 50 subscribers to our audio podcast.
There you go.
A lot of people are watching with their ears.
It only took 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. 10 a year, it's fine. Someone subscribed to our YouTube channel for the first time in 2 months yesterday.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Welcome. I've forgotten your name, but welcome.
Mm.
Actually, we get quite a few subscribers.
I think that was my
to
mum.
do. You know what? I thought your mum didn't know what computer was.
I just did it for her. No, she doesn't. Well, she knows what a computer is, but she has no idea what a podcast is.
No. Has she ever watched any of your YouTube stuff?
I don't let anyone watch it. I think I'm really awkward on here, so I don't let anyone watch
You're
it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, someone at work, one of the people at work actually said, "Oh, you do a podcast?" Yeah. I said, "Oh, I've looked at my son." I said, "How old is your son?" She had 12. I said, "I don't think you should try and watch it."
Totally not safe.
No.
Maybe if I have a day off.
Just leave this part, yeah.
Yeah.
Cut this part off and bleep
We
it.
are very much listed as explicit on iTunes. I said, have you ever watched Knock the Week? She goes, no. So you've never seen Frankie Boyle? She goes, no. So, right, unless you like Frankie Boyle, it's probably not worth listening to our podcast.
I hate Frank Boyle, but I still sometimes listen to this podcast.
You listen to it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Are you subscribed to it?
Yeah, I am subscribed to it.
Yes!
There you go.
I subscribed ages ago.
Brilliant. What, on
but
iTunes?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I am. Yeah,
Yay.
I did that ages ago.
I haven't worked through the backlog to bring you up because of all the law we've established.
No, I'm still confused. But even though
Space Barbarian in the grave digging contest.
something about killing pit.
Thank you, Daniel Pitbull. You've subscribed on both channels. Thank you.
Bless you,
Good man.
Pitbull.
Good man.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Somehow you managed to make it here.
Yeah.
I told you not to.
Well, moving on. Skazz.
Oh,
What
fuck.
have you been playing, boy?
Oh, you two ain't gonna fucking like this, are you? I've been playing Far Cry 3.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what a good game that is as well.
Uh,
Oh, you'd have problems with it.
Yeah, of course you would.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
You like Far Cry 3 the
No,
last
I
days?
did, but that was back when I was in my 20s. I don't seem to get on with it anymore.
Really?
I don't know what's happened. I think it might be because I'm suffering with a bit of shooter burnout. Because I've been
Yeah.
playing shooters now for the last couple of months. So I've played
Yeah.
through like, what, 6 or 7 different shooters.
Yeah.
And the last
Yeah.
one I
And
played
you've been
was...
traitors against Dear Leader as well, which I'm happy about.
Well, the last one I played was Homefront Revolution.
Oh, that's garbage, isn't it?
Well, it's exactly the same as Far Cry 3.
Oh, really?
It's built on the same engine. So the exact same shite that will happen in Homefront happens in Far Cry.
No.
The exact same notifications that come up on screen to say, by the way, someone's noticed you. Same base takeovers, same scavenging for equipment and all that kind of stuff.
I do love all that now.
That's fine, but my problem is it worked in Homefront. It doesn't work in the jungle. Some of the elements in the jungle look really, really shitty. Now, back then, way back in the day, when it first came out, I didn't really care. It was a wonderful, lush, open world environment where my mates were getting killed left and right. Great.
Oh, fuck, a leopard!
It's like,
It's always-
don't get me fucking
Honey
started with that.
Badger. Honey Badger was worse.
Yeah, yeah.
That's on. They released that on PS4, like as a gold bonus for the gold edition of Far Cry 5, and they really screwed that up. They put no time or money into it at all. It's just like the 360 version with
Yeah.
slightly buffed up frame rate, and it's not. They didn't spend any time on it.
So, once upon a time, I really liked Far Cry 3. For anyone that doesn't know what Far Cry 3 is, it's a massive ass open world first person shooter where you and a group of friends, you're on a random ass holiday. You're supposed to be this like random geezer who's you went to school, you went to university, but you haven't really done anything.
You're
since.
gap year, aren't you, basically?
Yeah. Well, you haven't done anything since. Where everyone else has gone and started to do things with their life,
Yeah.
you've been going out on little adventures, skydiving, climbing mountains. I don't know, rubbing your bollocks with a cheese grater or something like whatever it is that people do.
Jelly junkie.
You know, yeah, pretty much. However, you are the biggest pussy I've ever known in my life. You end up skydiving with your mates, and the next thing you know, you are in a cage because you've been captured by like pirates or whatever.
Yeah.
And they are going to be trying to get. They're going to try and get money for you from your parents, from your family, because they've figured you're rich. And it's established very early on that they're never actually going to let you loose. They're going to sell you into slavery.
Yeah.
You escape.
You and your brother escape, don't you? But your brother gets.
Yeah, he gets quite badly wrecked, and the main villain of the game, who is on the front of the box, kind of
Vass.
has a laugh at your expense, shoots your brother, and says, "Go on, pussy, fucking run. Go on."
You can't
try."
like Vass.
No, I love Vass. I still do.
That's what your issue is, it? That's
Yeah.
what happens later on.
Well, that fucks me off as well.
Yeah. Just worth mentioning, Vass. If anyone hears of Van of Better Call Saul, there's a guy in Better Call Saul, Nacho, who is Vass's voice actor and character model.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it first. It's the same guy. Yeah, you can't. It's really wild to realise it's the same person.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? But so I like Vass as a villain. Love the character.
He's brilliant.
In all of the promotional stuff,
Yeah.
brilliant character. Character design's brilliant. The actor does a brilliant job with the character. but there's just a few things about the game that I just didn't like. And by a few things, I mean Pitbull was in my stream recently. I actually rage quit on my second stream. I was so sick of parts of the game, I wanted to just fucking punch through my laptop screen. So, now note that I've played Homefront. Homefront plays just like a Far Cry game, except the map is slightly smaller, because, you know, they're going to be city districts, and, well, you're not in a fucking jungle for a start, so you're dealing with dudes in military outfits,
Pitbull Vass is her favourite character of all time. They did him so wrong.
It's a good, very, very good character. In the jungle, though, it just didn't sit with me. Like, you know how in Far Cry 3, if there's a bit that you can jump up to and grab onto and pull yourself up, it's always a dangling rope.
Yeah, they did do that a lot to sort of like highlight a way you could jump.
Which is fine, but they should have done it a different way because it looked really fucking stupid. In Homefront, they had like a piece of tarp that was spray painted to kind of show that you could jump here because the resistance had been there and were hanging up flags and painting on things so you could see where to go. It seemed really stupid in Far Cry 3. The fact that at the start, don't get me wrong, your character is a bit of a puss, but you've just gone to a village where they've got a shop that will hand you guns. Will they give you a holster for your guns?
Oh no,
You then have to go and play around with the stupid hunting mechanic to go, oh, go kill some fucking pigs, go kill some leopards, and now you can upgrade your fucking stuff.
And then when you want to get a really top end one, you have to kill a Pacific alligator to get it.
Yeah.
And so that annoyed the shit out of me because for the first part of the game, you literally have no fucking ammo.
No.
You know, which was annoying. So you get into a firefight with a couple of guys in a jeep, right? I don't know how, but the characters in Far Cry 3, the NPCs become much better shots when you're about fucking, oh I don't know, 700 yards that way, right? But when you're right up in their grill, can they fire straight? No way.
They're long range people. They used to. They're all long sighted.
There are NPCs that could nail me with a pistol from 500 yards.
You can't have. They're all long sighted.
AI was pretty bad in that game.
They're all, it's just not. So they've got their glasses on.
It was
sorry.
jank as bollocks.
That's probably right at the time because that's.
And again, I loved the game at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played it since.
I know you think. I would imagine it's now probably showing its age a little bit.
It still looked quite pretty, but it ran like shite, so it's clearly not optimised for modern hardware.
No, PS4 version is pretty awful as well. When they released.
I love driving around the island because that's Pitbull. I just go fucking Dukes of Hazzard on it. Like literally, a bit fun. Today I was like, oh well, let's just go fucking this way, straight off of a goddamn cliff, land the car, fucking catches fire, explodes. My character limps out, fucking wounded. It was that was really fun, but I hated it because right at the start it starts forcing you to do stealth missions. And I was like, these suck. They're horribly slow paced. You're not equipped to do them properly.
No.
The fact that basic manoeuvres are locked behind a skill tree.
Yeah, you have to wait till you get like a silenced pistol or a good bow and arrow and all that kind of stuff.
And I'm thinking to myself, because there was a point today, the entire stream today, 2 hours of my gameplay, I QQ'd about it for the last 4 hours. I have whined and bitched constantly about this game. Today I thought, you know what, fuck this mission, because it is a forced stealth mission, again. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just going to drive around, I'm going to capture zones, and I'm going to shoot the shit out of people. Oh, and look, there's some wildlife. Where's my shotgun?
Yeah, the main quest, as it were, is the weakest part of Far Cry 3.
Yeah,
it's the open world is the best part of it. The single player is that, and the only thing that made me want to really go through the single player was the fact that I wanted to have more Vass time.
Yeah,
and then about 3/4 way through, Vass gets knocked off, and you encounter a villain who's just boring. You get Hoyt.
They used him right by not using him too often, but they should have used him all the way to the end.
Yeah. Well, you can tell what happened. You can tell they designed it with Vass and Hoyt. They realised very late on, probably through development, that actually Vass was the more interesting character. So they switched and did all the marketing around him. but of course they couldn't redesign the entire game around it.
No.
Whereas, so the last section, when you go to that last island, which is Hoyt's Island, feels almost like a DLC pack.
Yeah.
Because it feels like the interesting bit's gone, because Hoyt is not as good. And
he's such a generic, just bad guy, really.
They've never done a bad guy as good as Vass.
Cracking villain.
Yeah.
Brilliant guy.
Cracking villain. I mean, just the intro with Vass alone is enough to send chills down your spine. You're thinking, as much as he's supposed to be like this fucking badass evil guy, like, I fucking like that guy.
So
and I'm going to enjoy kicking the shit out of him.
He's so good. And his boss fight, and the boss fights in Far Cry have always been, to me, a bit disappointing. The way you complete them. Have you encountered Buck yet? No. His boss fight was a little bit.
Let me put it this way. I've done so few story missions. I may as well have not even bothered playing it. I've done. So, first mission you have to do the harvesting of the boars. Second mission you have to go to the doctor's place. Third mission grab the mushrooms. Fourth mission go to the boat. Fifth mission, I believe it's roughly the fifth mission. You have to go and secure arms for the village, but it's still, my god, it just wound me up. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to fuck around. I'm sick and tired of having no ammo. I mean, I'm literally running out of bullets within 30 seconds flat. I'm going to have to travel around and do all the cool shit as I'm exploring this world. It didn't interest me. It just felt like unnecessary padding. When I have a village with an arms dealer in it, it was like, oh yeah man, do you want to have some fucking guns? It's like, yeah! Can I have some fucking bullets too, please?
Yeah, and the trick is actually to capture radio towers, because then you get the guns and not free.
Yeah, you get them for free, but even then...
Because I think all I did in that game was basically, once I've done for those initial missions, I literally just always use everything else before that touched the
See, I don't like any of the other side missions.
Well, the side missions are pretty wank. I actually do like the
capturing bases,
capturing the bases,
and the towers,
radio towers, and you unlock all the weapons and so forth. And the capturing bases is the best bit, really, in that game. That's the funnest part of the game.
I just run in all guns blazing. Like the last mission earlier, I was so low on ammo.
No, see, I love sitting on a hilltop with a sniper rifle.
No, see, I couldn't do it because I didn't have enough ammo. And so my sniper rifle was bone dry. So I was like,
then I go with a knife. Take as many as I can. So I take all the sort of like perimeter guards of the sniper rifle. Then I just go with my knife and just saw my way through.
That woman is quite a good villain, isn't she? Kind of, sort of villain.
The black,
she's quite a good. She's quite a good.
She's not a villain for most of the games.
No,
at the
she's
end, you find out she's a villain.
Yeah, and you can choose, can't you?
Petra?
Decide with her.
I don't know.
I don't think it's that, but something similar.
Yeah,
because you can either choose to kill her.
Apparently,
or kill
people is going to be streaming 5 after later on today.
Yep. So after this, we'll raid Pitbull, assuming that anyone's watching.
They get rid of all the hunting from that. You still hunt, but you don't need it for pouches or ammo.
It just wound me up how limited you. I mean, again, I understand that your character is a right puss, but the fact that you are part of like a resistance tribe who happen to be driving around, who happen to be well armed, it's like you could have at least given me a couple holsters or a sling or something like that. No, mate, you got to go and kill XYZ animal from the other side of the map.
That's typical game. How many games do you play where like the king sends you on a big quest, it'll give you a basic iron sword?
Which is fair. I expect that from an RPG, not from a first-person shooter. Don't limit the amount of bullets. Fucking hell, man! My submachine gun, I think I could barely carry fucking like 30 or 60 rounds. Yeah. You could spill that out in 2 seconds flat.
Yeah, it does take a long time to,
It's also one of its big faults that it's, despite being an open world game, which applies, and it gives you all these like submachine and stuff, it does heavily basically push you towards stealth. The bonus you get for taking out an outpost stealthily is so good compared to shooting it.
No, you can run in there, blow them all to shit as long as I don't trigger the alarm.
Yeah.
In the middle of the base, you're good.
But you get a bonus being undetected
you get
as
even
well.
More if you get completely undetected. Yeah.
If you don't set the alarm off and you're undetected, you get like 1500 XP.
Which is fair, but let's be fair. I mean, outside of a lot of the base skills, a lot of it's kind of jank.
Yeah, but it does severely encourage you to be stealthy. It tries to anyway.
But that's not fun.
Well, it's for me because I love being
I
stealthy.
quite enjoyed that part as well.
I love sitting up on a hill, sniping, repositioning, sniping, just whatever way. I love when I take an entire base out with a sniper rifle without actually walking into it.
Which is fair.
I love doing
Is that the one where you can really shoot animal
You can shoot the cage and the
Yeah,
animals
yeah.
go out there. So the trouble is, I haven't got anything silenced yet either.
Oh yeah, that took a while
So,
for me as well.
but that's what I mean. It takes a while.
Yeah.
So I don't know how my opinion has changed so much over the base of the start of the game. But I mean, driving around the fucking island, wrecking the shit out of people. Because I mean, honestly, I'd spent probably about half an hour just like, as soon as I got the second holster upgrade and the second ammo pouch upgrade, all of a sudden it turns out I'd already gotten all the stuff to have the next set.
Yeah.
So I was just like, oh look, now I actually have bullets. Now the game's actually fun because I wasn't in the middle of a firefight running out of ammo. Because I also, I don't know about you two, but have you found that much like a lot of modern shooters, for example Wolfenstein 2, in Wolfenstein 2 if you want to trigger an event you have to be looking dead where it wants you to be. Otherwise you can't interact with it at all. I found that in Far Cry 3 I cannot pick something up unless I'm just where it wants me to be. I can't loot it unless I'm just where I want
You had your reticle on it, didn't you, for it to...
Yeah, look, I have to be at just the right place.
Red Dead's quite like that, you have to be quite precise, pick things up sometimes, not all the time, but certain things.
Even when I'm trying to pick up a gun off the floor that the enemy has dropped so I can leech the bullets out of it. Like I'm like standing on it, I've just gone and picked up one over there, I'm still not full of ammo, but oh hang on, I can't pick this up.
It is interesting actually as you work your way through the later Far Cry's, actually you can see how much they learnt and changed things later on. Particularly like between 3 and 5 is a dramatic difference to how much they learnt, how they dropped all that crafting stuff is basically gone.
Thank God, because the UI's crap as well. I completely forgot.
No, there's only one radio tower at the start of this, and the guy even says, "Don't worry, I won't make you on all the island releasing radio towers." There are fewer side quests, but they're generally more interesting. The characters you encounter generally have more interesting, although you are only facing one sort of main enemy. You can tell they learn from it. I mean, Far Cry 3 is still my most favourite game, one of my first favourite games of all time.
I did love that game a lot when it first came out.
I was upset. That was one of those games that literally is like every sort of spare moment I was playing it type games. I definitely will change. I did all these interesting when I got rid of Vass because he was such a driving character. And it doesn't. When you then get to the sort of latter part of the islands where you're encountering the heavy enemies, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's not fun anymore because you can't headshot them straight away unless you get the really powerful sniper rifle. And then you sort of lose when you want to play stealthy. That sort of loses a bit.
So I couldn't play stealth because I didn't have enough ammo. I mean, I think my sniper rifle, the first sniper rifle I got, I had 5 shots. And the base I went to, I mean,
that's why you want to bow and arrow as soon as you can because you can cover the arrows.
I haven't got one.
Yeah, you need to get you can cover as soon as you can because you cover the arrows then.
Because that was an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they're silent kills as well. So you can recover the arrows, and if you kill somebody, they're silent. So bow and arrow is the way. Basically, it wants you to play. Actually, again, not just want to play solo, just want to play like really actually old-fashioned. I mean, there's those whole set of missions where you have to kill somebody using only the knife.
No, I've seen those. And I've ignored them. I've flat out ignored them. So I was like,
oh, I love them.
Well, it's not a case of that they're bad. It's just the game is already slow enough. Like I'm already sick and tired of the crap. I hate the UI. The crafting at the start is so horribly slow. Oh no, my bag's full. Every 15 fucking seconds. Gravy, I'm constantly skint. Alright. Oh no, my wallet's full of money. Go craft a new one. I'm like, so where do you want me to find this? Oh yes, on the other side of the map. Alright, fair enough. Villagers, can someone pony up $50 in a new wallet, please? That'd be nice. You see that backpack you got there, mate? Can I have that? No? You want me to go over there and go craft one? Rightio. I know it's going to get better as I go, up until rest your soul, Vass. But the start is so painfully slow. So slow. No bullets. Shite guns. Even playing stealthy is a pain in the ass because, like I say, my first sniper rifle had something like 5 fucking rounds. I had 5 shots.
Yeah,
One of the bases I went up against this afternoon had something like fucking 4 snipers in it.
Yeah.
Right at the start, 4 fucking snipers.
That's what you're nice for, mate. You sneak around, go to the towers, take them out.
Yeah, but you couldn't.
Ah.
Unless you were stood there throwing fucking rocks every fucking 5
exactly.
seconds. Bollocks to that. Too slow.
I used to love. The 2 ways to play: either take out a base with a sniper rifle, or go and take everybody out using just a knife.
Yeah, too slow.
I love playing like that. Because that's the play. So if you like, I like the slow, methodical. Take time out. I'm going to plan this. I'm going to take this guy out. Boom, gone. To move his body, hide him away. Type. I like that sort of methodical approach to it. I like that sort of. I like being like a predator.
Can I throw out there?
Just
I
ready to jump
preferred it had I been playing it on, say, a 30-inch screen or a 20-something-inch screen. Playing that game on a 15-inch screen, the graphics maxed out, and yet the game not being completely optimised for my modern hardware, it didn't feel like it was running right, even though it was claiming 60 FPS. Sometimes, looking at trying to find them enemies, couldn't fucking see them. They were right in front of me, couldn't fucking see them.
You'd like the Hitman games, wouldn't you?
I've got
the new ones.
Unless you tag them.
I've got the Hitman game. I've just got the new Hitman game. I'm going to play that 4.0.
I was going to say all that methodical stuff.
Yeah, I love. Oh yeah, I love it. I love, sort of working my way through a task system and breaking and killing people. And
I haven't liked the Hitman games since Hitman 2.
I've got the latest one. I bought that like a steelbook, like fancy one. I do quite like that, but I think that might have been better if I'd bought in stages. Like the chapters done it like.
That's how I intended it to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like had a few goes of doing it each time they released one.
With a bit of burnout.
Yeah.
Stealth burnout as you go through.
Yeah.
But I love stealth games.
But you do, and I remember playing games like Thief, and one of my favourite games of all time that blow people's minds, Tenchu. I used to play Tenchu Stealth Assassins. I used to. That's great. I was good enough at Tenchu Z to be able to speedrun it.
That was a tough game as well.
Yeah, so I can do stealth.
Was that a one kill kind of? Yeah.
So in Far Cry, but just Far Cry at the start, it just felt too slow. It was one of those games where it was saying, look at the cool shit that we can do now with our engine. Look at the crafting shit you can do. Look how alive our world is.
Yeah.
But it was same thing they did with Wolfenstein 2 at the start. I fucking hated Wolfenstein 2 at the start because but look at all the dynamic effects we've got. Look at all the cool environmental stuff you can do. It's like, but it's fucking lame. Let me get into the game and do anything. Don't force me to be like. Don't give me a backpack full of guns and then say you got to be stealthy because as soon as they see you, you're gonna fail the mission.
Well,
those do my fucking head in.
Wolfenstein always starts bad. The last Wolfenstein was pretty awful at the beginning, like the opening part in that plane, and then you kind of.
I didn't find that I didn't find that half as bad as the new Colossus because
I found it quite tedious, that part.
The first Wolfenstein, but you were shooting Nazis like right off the bat, and you weren't getting.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said to you in the last episode, as I'm rolling around at a snail's pace in the wheelchair with next to no health and no armour, as soon as I'm stood next to a switch shooting one guy, the Nazi's firing, missing by miles, but hits the panel that I'm stood next to. Bam! All of a sudden, my health's gone.
That is tough. That is tough.
Fucking annoying. I mean, I played that game the wrong way clearly, because my mate DeWalt went dual wield the entire way through Wolfenstein 2.
I never really dual wield.
No, see, I didn't either, because that's not my groove. I don't you'd think that I'm loud and proud, but I don't go in dual wield because that annoys the shit out of me.
Me too. Yeah.
I mean, would you believe in Wolfenstein games I'm better as a sniper? I don't mind playing as a sniper. I just like to have some bullets.
Yeah, and it's still quite fast paced. Even if you do sort of try being sniping.
By the way, did you go laser craft work or diesel craft work?
Ooh,
Wolfenstein 2?
Diesel one.
Diesel, so you say wired.
Yeah. I think so anyway. Yeah.
See, Wolfenstein 1, I mean...
For the second one, yeah.
It was pretty quick at the start, not hugely quick.
Yeah.
Wolfenstein, the Old Blood, pretty slow, but a decent opener. The force stealth there didn't bother me at all, because I was still murdering people left and right. And they didn't say, hey Skazz, You got reduced health and no bullets.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Literally, it's just the limited resources they gave me right at the start, and the fact that they were trying to force me to look at the cool shit they've added in. Having to keep on hitting escape and craft every few seconds to do things. Fuck me, it's slow.
I'm just going to give a quick spoiler, so just mute if you're... Turn away just for like 30 seconds, but it's the only game I've ever played where you get beheaded and you actually become stronger.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh, because your body's crippled, don't worry.
Yeah.
Super Soldier. My mate The Wald came up with a classic. I knew he was going to say it. I was like, hang on a minute. So I said, mate, just remember, that's not your body and that's your wife. And he's like, hang on a minute. If you dick her, is that cheating? I was like, oh mate, come on. Because old BJ, at the end of... spoiler again, you've already had the warning. BJ gets pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
And because that was supposed to be the end of the series.
Yeah, they pretty much killed him off, didn't they?
Yeah. That was supposed to be the end, but because it was so successful, they were like, hey, fuck it, let's release a Wolfenstein 2.
Yeah. Then they thought it was just to be like a swan song, didn't they? To old style first person shooter. They thought they released it.
Brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic.
New Colossus was that was pretty fucking good, albeit my play style was not rewarded at all. I mean, and I found that one out towards the end. I mean, I got less than 50 dual-wield kills by the end of the game.
Yeah,
The Wald had
actually.
maxed that out by the end of like the second level.
I maxed out quite a few weapons, but never dual-wielding them.
Yeah, I wasn't interested in that. I literally used the assault rifle with the armor-piercing rounds and the scope.
I used that a lot,
Diesel Kraftwerk.
Yeah.
That's my baby. That's how I beat the end boss in the end. Fucking Diesel Kraftwerk, that was all I needed. It's my baby. And and there were some points like when you went up to see Hitler.
Yeah.
I ended up finding there were some segments. The game literally pretty much says to you, look, you should really be dual wielding at this point because it just throws enemies at you, and with one gun you can't take down 50 people running at you. So as soon as at that point you're like, well, I've died twice here, fuck this, dual wield shotguns, you just mow right through them. It's like, where'd they all go? Oh wait, you're dead.
Yeah.
And that's what the wall did. He just steamrolled through it.
Oh yeah.
Whereas I preferred to like just watch their heads pop.
Yeah, because they are so brilliantly gory. That both of them, that and the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Far Cry 3, not awful. My tastes have changed. Aesthetically, some of the choices they made are a bit jank, and the incredibly slow pace at the start. It's just it just doesn't make any sense.
No,
it just didn't make any sense. They're willing to sell me all these guns, but they can't sell me a backpack.
Yeah.
Well, you are a backpacker. You should be the expert on them.
There you go.
Right, well, I've been playing a game. Well, I technically played it a month ago, and I've forgotten most of it, but it's okay, I'll discuss it anyway. Called Duskers, with a D, not Buskers, as Middlemeister thought I was trying to car.
I thought it was going around London, trying to move an action
change.
Duskers. I suppose you actually class it as, it's an indie game, roguelike. Suppose you might class it as a horror game, in a way. Right. So you basically wake up and you from a cryogenic sleep, and you find that you are the last human in the galaxy. You're on a spaceship.
It's a bummer, that, isn't it?
There's the human race is gone.
How was this established?
Trump, I think.
Yeah. Well, you don't know how it happened. You just know you are the last one. So, but what you have is you have limited food, limited resources, as a roguelike is like, but you are able to, there are lots of derelict ships nearby, and so you go to a ship and you need to board it. Now, you board it using drones.
Right.
And you initially start off with, from memory, 3. And these drones go onto the ship, and your interface is basically like what the drones see. So you don't ever actually go on the ship yourself, you're just all through their sensors and so forth. So it's all this like really grainy sort of, and occasional flickers out and so off and video feed type of drones as you move them around. You move them around, you control them with either the arrow keys yourself, or it's got a command line. And the command is important because you use that. So you can say like, and each room will have a number. So you can say like, you know, drone 1 to room R3, and it'll make its way down and so forth. So it's got a path to go there. Each room is separated by a bulkhead, some which will be open, some which will be closed. And you can open, when you interface this ship, you interface the computer, and you can command the bulkheads using the command line prompts like open bulkhead 1. Only if they're powered. And as you walk around the ship, you can power up other units and then power up more bulkheads. But you may find a situation where like you can only power up like one section of the ship at a time, and then you have to like move to the next section, power that up. And once section's powered down, you can't do anything. So you can't close them down, you can't close the bulkheads down, anything like that, so forth. Now, basically the idea is you're trying to find resources. So to basically allow you to jump further and to basically, and as you go to these ships, you gradually pick up plot lines as what's happened. So you're trying to sort of find out what happened and where they're going to go. It's quite clever actually because there is actually multiple ways that humanity can get wiped out.
Right.
But depending on where you go, what ships you tend to research, and these ship types will have different resources. So a trading ship will have more resources on it. A military ship will have better defences, but more weapon systems on it. So you go around these ships, but well, your drones have abilities. So and you can upgrade drones. They can have up to 3 abilities, and so they might have the ability to say power up a system, or to interface and hack a system, or to scan, for example. So scan will allow you to scan all the nearby rooms, because although it's the sort of after the end, you're not alone. These ships may have nasty things on them. So you'll scan a ship. Let's say you enter a ship and you may scan the first room you go into. And there's always a risk going into the first room because you don't know what's going to be there when you go in there.
Party, surprise!
Yeah, because you basically start like in an airlock. You're like you're
sounding very marathon-like.
Well, it's top-down 2D, so you start in an airlock, and you drive your drones out the airlock into this ship, and that's where that's how you leave. You drive the drones into the airlock, and that's how you leave. So you drive the drones out, and you might do a scan, and you'll scan all the nearby rooms, and you might find one room's got red, and it's got something in it, and basically, if you encounter something nasty, it's going to kill your drone. It's going to destroy it.
Sure.
And a drone that's destroyed, you can retrieve them. You can send a drone. If a drone's got a, I can't remember what the upgrade's called, but it's got like a tow ability. I think it's actually called tow. You can tow another drone.
Sure.
And some drones will be destroyed, some will be disabled. So destroyed one, you can just take resources off it. A disabled one, you can tow back to ship, repair, and it become another drone in your fleet. And you can have like several drones, perhaps at different specialties. So like you can perhaps say, if you know military ships tend to be lots of armour, I think you can get drones with like better shielding. You can send them better health. But basically, finding them is lethal. And so what you might do is like open a bulkhead to like try and distract the enemy and pull it through to a different area. So like open bulkhead B4, and then you wait for the enemy to move to the next area and then close it down, and you'll go in, investigate, clear the room. So you've got to plan what you do. You've got to be quite. It's you know those games you had where you had the squares and you have to move the squares round and just make a picture. Yeah. It's a bit like that. So you want to sort of move things around and work out how you're going to do something through this ship. And the ship's all randomly generated. Yeah. So you've got to work out how you're going to work through a ship to get all the resources, because you need fuel, you need scrap to repair things. All your abilities have limited use. Well, most abilities have limited use. To scan initially starts with 50 uses, and every time you do it, you lose a use, and that doesn't regenerate between missions. You have to buy like new ammunition to use it. And this is the thing about it. Some of these abilities have failure rates. So the scan one, when you first have it, you use it, may have a failure rate of say 2%, which means 2% of the time, when you scan, it won't actually give you the correct reading. So you think the room's clear, and then you'll open the door and drive in, and actually there's an enemy there because your scan had failed, but it still works, as it were. It shows the room is green when it should be showing as red. So you can't always rely on it, which is quite neat. Yeah. So you have to still got to be cautious, which I wasn't the first time I got wiped out.
Surprise!
You said they're command prompts, aren't you?
Yeah, it's all like command prompts. It's all done like open door to, and you can command the drones like command prompts. So imagine my surprise when I worked my way through a ship and I'd opened all the bulkheads and I drove a drone into this room and there's this mad robot there. And I suddenly thought, shit, that's a mad robot. I tried to drive the drone back, but the robot was chasing me, and I was trying to rapidly type, close the door, close the door. Unfortunately, I messed up on the command, so I was typing too quickly, and the door didn't close, and this robot followed me into the next room and beat the drone up. There was already another drone in the room powering up that next section of the ship. So it beats up the first drone, then it turns on the other drone. By the time I managed to close the door to that section, it destroyed both the drones. And it's trapped. Now you can do things like you can open an airlock, which will just suck everything out of the room. Now, the airlock, that works. You can suck everything out, but it sucks everything out that's in the room, including your own drones.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, so you've got to... And also, there's radiation to the ships. So you can't leave an airlock open very long because the room will become radiated and you can't go in there anymore. So it's all about basically resource management. It's all about investigating, trying to find what's going on. It's all about this sort of slowly... You have to... And you probably would hate this thing because you have to be very sort of slow and careful and progressive.
Depends on the game.
Yeah.
Don't give me a first-person shooter with a weapon shop.
Yeah.
And then slow me down with a stupid mechanic.
Yeah. This game is a very slow pace. It's got a beautiful atmosphere to it. They've done a really good job of. It is bloody creepy playing it because you only see through this like. Your drones have like a field of vision. That's all you see is what they see. You'll get like an outline of the room once they've seen it, but they won't. But things will disappear as they're not looking at it.
Yeah, sure.
So you're limited what your drone. So it does feel like you're remote controlling these things, and if all goes horribly wrong, and I did a situation where basically I lost all my drones and there was no way I could recover. And being a roguelike, you can in the
Is
command.
it a roguelite or a roguelike?
It's a roguelike.
Right. Okay.
So
Just in case anyone's curious about what the difference is, a roguelite is a tad safer in that death isn't permanent. So you'll end up with a resource or two that you can carry on to your next playthrough.
It's all gone.
Okay.
To its credit, it has got in the command prompt. It's got a reset option.
It's still warm as well.
It's got so in the command prompt you can just type if it all goes wrong. You just type restart and it'll just start a new game.
Sure.
They actually put it in the command.
Save it
prompt.
from struggling.
Yeah.
Through it.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and the command prompt is quite sophisticated. You can actually do multiple. You can control multiple drones at once, and you do find it's actually quicker sometimes. You send the drones to different rooms. So like. Drone 1 to room R3, it will drive as long as it's got a clear path. It will drive there, and it won't. And if it hasn't, it won't just even bother try. So you can sort of work quite quickly through the command prompt. I mean, it's bloody creepy. It's not very expensive. I must admit, because about a month ago I can't remember how much I paid for it. But it's not expensive. It's just a really nice, little, neat roguelike, and it's a great game to play. But you need to play it in the dark, with all the lights switched off. At your computer and feel like you're because it's all done in command prompt, it feels like you're actually interfacing with them. So
sure.
It feels like you actually are commanding some drones out there and they're going to get killed horribly.
It's creepier than Silent Hill 2.
Yes.
Really?
Surprised.
Well, it's quite creepy at the time.
I must admit, actually, because we played Silent Hill 2 last week, and actually it was not creepy anywhere near to how I remember.
I always prefer the Resident Evil
creepy
games,
at all.
but
I know you've
No,
eaten,
no.
but try it.
So, right, we've been issued food.
It's homemade chicken and vegetable soup.
Spaniel's coming. No one loves me, they don't give me any of the soup.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Everyone's like, yeah, actually, that's
So
what
Domesticated.
it's not that great for the video viewers either, really.
No. They can skip ahead. Oh no, they can't.
No.
It's not bad for a 5-minute job, is it?
Oh,
Made the stock and everything from scratch. I was like, for a chuck it all in the pot.
Look at that poor dog, he's suicidal. That.
It's all on me, I fucking love this much. It was like, the whole time I was cooking that.
These will need to go out.
that was lovely. Thank you.
It's alright. It was only a quick taste, it only does a... No.
Yeah.
Time and all that.
Yeah.
Tom's just enjoying it.
Yeah, I had to take my time.
Oh, crack on. You want any more? There's some more on the side.
So, and you can upgrade. You can also like switch ships as well. So when you go to another ship, if you just like better than yours, you can actually switch and take it over, and that becomes your ship. So you can take command. It's
There's
quite
obviously resource management that would have to be adjusted based on the type of ship that you take.
Yep, and different ships have different amounts of storage space
Sure.
and so forth, which is what then controls how much you can upgrade your drones, how much scrap you can carry. better arms. You can also, like, if there's room, you can also use things like turrets and stuff. The rooms will have turrets in them, which you use like to take out enemies if you can power them up. But you must be able to switch them off before you send your own drones in there. So it's all about sort of playing cautiously, thinking ahead, planning. It's a plan. It's a game you have to plan. You can't just run in and you will die if you do that. So it's not, because I think traditional roguelikes usually sort of quite hack and slashy. This is definitely
not traditionally, no.
No. Well.
I've played a lot of roguelikes.
Some are, like Dead Cells obviously is, but
I'm trying to think now off the top of my suite.
is that game called Rogue?
Yeah, that's why
they call it.
That's kind of set the structure for it all, isn't it? And that's obviously very hack and slashy.
That's where there's rules of live
a little bit more. That's sort of a roguelike-esque, isn't it? Because it randomly generates the dungeons, at least.
It kind of irks me a little bit how overused roguelike and roguelike are. Just because they have like a permadeath mechanic, it instantly becomes a roguelike. It's like, but it's nothing like Rogue.
No.
In a lot of cases.
That's everything sort of the level resets and regenerates, doesn't it? And you lose a lot of, you use your progress mostly anyway, and you kind of get to a certain point.
If you lose most of your progress, that's a roguelike.
Yeah.
A roguelike, you'll lose everything.
Yeah.
I think Dead Cells becomes more of a roguelike because you then you can keep some of the money.
It's the same with Wizard of Legend or whatever it was called. That's a roguelike because you get to keep at least one of your resources throughout each run.
I hate the dog.
It'll be alright.
Yeah. But no, I would recommend Duskers. If you like sort of slow-paced horror, yes, I would recommend getting hold of a couple of Duskers.
Sure.
Cool. So mine's only a short game, so
yeah.
But it's a very simple game compared to. It's not got the same depth as Red Dead Redemption.
No, you can't really do.
It hasn't got the base built, the base shooting out of Far Cry 3.
Yeah, it's difficult to.
You can't hop Tiger drone and leave it on a derelict ship to be took out by a robot.
There is rather a lot to talk about when it comes to Red Dead in terms of how much there is in that game.
Yeah. Right. So, anyone for anything else? We'll move on to other news.
Nope.
So, other news. Tom may need to leave the room shortly. It's all TD slash.
I don't like it anyway. So.
It's been announced that Vince Skin has announced this week that there's going to be a spin-off Breaking Bad film.
Yeah, which no one asked for.
No one has asked for. I have worries about as well. This is going to be a spoiler for the end of Breaking Bad. Are you sure you want to be in here, Middlemeister?
Oh, I got the upper room.
Yeah, he's only partway through season 2.
What the fuck? What?
I don't like it.
No.
Oh. So, he's announced a film following what happened to Jesse after Breaking Bad.
Which is something we said we didn't want to happen.
Exactly what I said. When I heard it and I thought, no, don't do that. We don't need to know what happened to Jesse.
We said it, I mean, I don't know, I can't remember. I know we said it on podcast at least once.
Yes,
but we did speak about it quite recently. It might have actually been on the Silent Hill live stream that we said we didn't want it.
Yeah, I think it might have been. So, it's been announced, it's in production. I think it's going to start filming basically, I think, end of the month. Due to be done by March next year. So it'll be released end of next year. I saw for myself, Vince, perhaps you should do something else.
Yeah, stop milking it, man.
Yeah, I mean, Better Call Saul's turned into a good series all by itself. It took a while to get there, to be fair. The first series ended really weirdly. Second series was a bit... but the third and fourth series have really...
I haven't touched it.
Yeah. They've turned it around. Second series was it was too slow paced. They've sort of done it prepared for third and fourth because things are actually starting to develop.
Sure.
And it works, so Solkin's a good character.
Yeah.
As much as I like Aaron Paul, I think Jesse's story was complete. It
was done.
Yeah, it needed really nicely his way of finishing up at the end where, and this is spoilers Breaking Bad, okay, full on spoilers Breaking Bad, what happens at the end. Walter White gets killed, but he gets Jesse out.
Yeah.
His last sort of act before he gets his last sort of fatally shot is to save Jesse. And I think actually towards the point, from his as a character's point of view, he wasn't necessarily going to do that. It's only when he saw Jesse was a prisoner, they actually decided to sacrifice himself effectively to sort of save Jesse. And Jesse gets out.
In the grand scheme of things, it is his fault that Jesse's in this whole thing.
Well, he's basically sold him into it though, didn't he? So Jesse gets out and he drives away in tears. And in my mind, what happened to Jesse is he goes in a woodworking shop.
Yeah, which is what he wanted to do. He'd
Yes.
already established his hopes and his dreams. He's now been given a second chance at
Perhaps
life.
I must have dreamt this, but I'm sure I remember a sequence where he's in a woodworking shop. But I think there might have been a flash forward or like a dream sequence he had at some point.
I don't remember.
When he's been put in the prison down in the things, I think he might have had a sequence where he dreamt being in his woodworking shop.
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's how I remember it is. I don't want to feel about what happens to him.
Because you know they're going to fuck it up. They're going to do something to bring in the action, and it's just not going to be.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
people are going to want the action, and that's what they're going to give.
Exactly. How are you going to finish that storyline off?
Give me an hour and a half of Jesse making a rocking horse and a bench.
Yes.
Bam, nailed it.
Yeah. Possibly just like sort of like a light-hearted family comedy,
That's it.
where he's like, you know, he's getting all these sort of colourful hijinks from making up stuff. So, when he announced this, I was like, no, Vince, don't do this. Do something else. You've proven you can make a good series. Do something different. Don't rely on Breaking Bad your entire life.
Yep.
Make another crime series if you want. I'm sure you can.
Can we not say the same thing to most game developers though? Can we let go of half of the series that you keep banging on about and just, you know? I'll say that about like most games I play. Come on, guys, this is like the same game name only. Just let it go. Stop selling the brand. Do something different.
Yeah.
Find something new to do.
Yes.
You know.
So, yeah, I'm not too pleased.
New me either.
No. So I'll be interested. I suspect it won't do very. I just personally suspect it will be a flop.
It's too late.
That's the other issue because Aaron Paul being in it, God, he's going to look old, isn't he? Unless you somehow set it up like after the end, as it were, like you know, it's set several years later.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's really the only way they could logically do it because I mean
his past catches up. Because I mean, he wasn't out home free when he at the end of Breaking Bad. You know, he still was a criminal. He was still wanted. He wasn't out home free. He's got no Saul Goodman to help him get out of the trouble. So perhaps you could finish off with several years later his part, and he set it up. And his past catches up with him. Yeah. Maybe that's something you could do. Someone from the part, I don't know who it would be, walks in his life because I think all the main people involved have been killed off. There aren't many characters you could pull over who could run into him who could potentially be a threat because Tuco's dead.
Most of the big boy villains are fucked
who will
up.
know who he is and will potentially be a hazard for him.
Just think
Frank, Mike's dead, Gus is dead.
It could potentially be one of his little group spot him and then bring him into the bad shit again. Yeah. Or bring the bad shit to his doorstep.
Because Badger's still alive at the end of Breaking Bad, isn't he?
At least one of his friends got killed.
Yeah, one of his friends gets killed. But I think Badger's survived because I think Badger hang on through most of the series.
He's Skinny Pete's still alive, yeah.
Yeah, Skinny Pete's still alive, and it's the third one who gets killed, isn't it? The sort of, Badger's definitely still. I'm sure Badger's still alive, but yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to manage it. It just, I suspect it's going to get like 6 out of 10s.
This is the one story that we didn't want to have explored. This is the one story that you set it up for us. We were happy to imagine where Jesse would go.
Yeah, you neatly finished it off. I mean, Saul Goodman was a good spin-off because you could do it as a prequel. Yeah, you had something to explore there. But be honest, there aren't many other characters in that series you could really spin off. No. You might be doing perhaps like one-off shorts and so forth. Like, perhaps a short
The world isn't that complex.
No.
The world of Breaking Bad is not that complex, despite what people seem to think. It ain't that deep.
No.
They tie off everything quite nicely.
Yeah.
Most of the characters aren't really all that interesting.
No.
I mean, I don't think I could watch it again. Going back at now, I don't think I could watch it again.
I watched up to about season 4 and I stopped. I don't watch season 5. Season 5 to me it does what a lot of American shows do, and a fair number of British shows do, but it's more of American shows. It overstays its welcome. It ends the season before, and then they get renewed and they carry on. Yeah. I mean, the amount of people I see who say Breaking Bad is like the finest television ever made. It's a good series.
It was very well shot, I will give them that.
Yeah. But season 5 is actually pretty dire.
Jank.
There's some good bits in it. The train heist bit in season 5 is quite cool.
Barely remember it.
Yeah, they steal like.
Yeah, I remember what they did, but I barely remember it.
That's a cool episode, right? That's probably the best episode of the whole season 5. In fact, it's the only one worth watching. But all the stuff that the neo-Nazis were boring.
Yeah,
they were
characters that didn't need. They were kind of hinted at. Was it season 3 or?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I don't even remember the fucking order. I started. Mentally, I've tuned most of that series out. I remember a couple of the characters. I remember some of the villains.
Yeah.
But I don't care.
It's like, season 5 is basically Gus has been killed. The network he's in gets stored. The company he's with is sort of starting to get investigated and found out. The big main company that's been bankrolling him.
Mm-hmm.
So that girl Lydia, who's been involved with the company, she's. Basically sort of trying to sort of almost mosey his territory, as it were, and then the neo-Nazis get involved, and it's just a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
It's a season that doesn't flow very well actually. When you watch it back, it jumps around
trying to
so
grab
much.
all of the loose ends from other series, string them all together, lip them up, tie them up, and then be done.
And also, it's one where they try and sort of like want to do lots of twists and turns. So Hank discovers who Walter is.
Try to get him long fucking enough.
Yeah. Jesse then works out. Jesse then turns to and starts giving Hank information, which is why Walter ends up selling to the giving to the neo-Nazis. It's actually I actually personally think season 5 is actually very poor. The only good the train heist series is an episode really, and it's the finale. The last couple episodes where you encounter Walt living out in the wilderness, and he basically comes back to basically rescue Jesse and also put right his phone, because he basically leaves a voicemail that basically makes almost gives Skyler an out. It makes it look like it was all his. Well, it was all his doing basically. Although Skyler got involved a little bit, but she was trying to make best of a bad situation. To be fair,
dislike that character so much.
See, a lot of people said this, but actually, I watched it and I thought she was put in a fucking awkward position.
Yeah, I get it, but I just didn't like it.
Yeah. So
I understand her motivations. I just didn't like it. Even before
her character never bothered me. To be honest, it was. I was more annoyed by Marie,
the housewife.
Yes,
yeah,
she annoyed me far more. Sky's character never bothered me, to be honest. I totally get where she's coming from, and never bothered me at all. So I don't know where I personally don't get why everybody hates her.
Because she's a naggy, insufferable bint.
She's not that
clearly
naggy.
Clinging to something she never had, but she wanted.
No, she's not.
Watch the first season again, you'll get it straight away.
I've watched the first season now.
Do it again.
And it's no.
Well, that's the impression. That is why people don't like it.
Yeah. Well, I disagree with most people.
That's because you're an idiot.
Hey.
Hey, well, how I see it, man.
No, well, I'm right. Simple as that. Yeah. So it's there's nowhere to go. So
they have no need to release this.
No. It just feels like now.
Cash grab.
Yeah. It feels like now he thinks he can't do anything else that isn't Breaking Bad, and
it's not a franchise.
No.
It's not big enough. It's not good enough to be a franchise.
No.
This isn't going to be a long-running thing with video games and books and comics, and it's not that good. For the time, it was shot really well. The first few seasons were really kind of tight and gripping, but no.
Just do something else, Vince. Just do something else. You've proven that you can make one good series. Are you that underconfident in your own abilities that you can't make another one?
Well, what's Ernest Cline done other than Ready Player One? In the grand scheme.
What was that one he did? The second was it
Armada,
which
is basically Ready Player One, but
which apparently didn't review very well. So So
that's the trouble. A lot of these people they go from nothing to a big hit, and then they just fall clean off the planet. Like, well,
at least try. Yes, the thing you do make next may not be very good, but at least you tried something else.
Yeah.
Don't rely on the fact that I'm just going to keep flogging this dead horse or milking this cow until I drive over until it's shriveled up to a small husk.
Yeah.
Because in actual fact, it'll do more damage to the legacy. People won't
I don't
go.
really think they care anymore, do they? Because they've already had the money for it. They're now just trying
Yeah.
to milk it. Like you said, they are literally, they've got hold of that husk and they are squeezing it
Yeah.
for everything they can get out of it now.
Yeah. So I thought unless it gets unless other people watch and say it's absolutely amazing film, I won't be watching it.
Do you think there are many people going back and watching Breaking Bad?
I'm on a couple of forums and people like to say, "Oh, I'm on my 8th rewatch." Yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how people do it. I could. I mean, it's a series. I like the series, but it's a series I can only watch like probably every couple of years, every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
I need a bit of a breather between watching it.
I won't watch it again until I completely forget everything about it.
So I have another couple of weeks then.
Yeah, hopefully.
But
No,
no,
just some of them characters really ground on me. And I'm
Yeah.
a pretty good judge of character, and I was predicting parts of that series pretty quick on. So.
No, it's and I said, and everybody goes, yeah, wow, it's amazing from start to finish. No, season 5 was rubbish. Which isn't actually. There's a lot of people actually. I actually started doing some googling about this, like see what people thought. Actually, and actually, a lot of people do actually think season 5 was rubbish, but they didn't get drowned out by the launch. Just think it's the best series ever made, and it's a good series.
I would say at least the first 2 seasons were decent.
It was good. Well, I think personally, I enjoyed everything. Right with I liked actually all the way through. Until Gus is killed, then it ends.
Yeah, that was it.
In my mind, that's the series over at that point. He's achieved his job, he's killed Gus, he's now head kingpin, as it were, or he's done what he needs to do, series over.
Yeah. They had to keep on bringing out bigger villains. So the person who you thought was the big fucking guy up top.
And Gus was a good bad guy.
Yeah. And it turns out that he was nothing more than a pawn to start at that point either.
Yeah.
You know, there was someone above him, and then there's going to be someone above the fucking little bin.
Yeah.
No, because they did that in an anime I watched recently, and there's I won't bother going into it. There's a big bad character established back in the 80s and the early 90s, like the fucking destroyer of universes. Everyone feared this character. Roll on 2000 and it was quite recent actually. The new film and the new series comes out. They were like, no. Just turns out that entire character's motivation was someone above him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, stop.
They wrapped it up too well in season 4. They wrapped up the cartel because Gus basically takes out the entire cartel through clever sort of moves, and eventually he gets took out himself by Walter. They wrapped it up so well. And when you sort of, I said I watched Breaking Bad last year again. I watched it through. Got to season 4. I just thought I'll watch season 5. I could have got 3 episodes and just stopped. I was like, I really can't be bothered with this. Right, I just can't be bothered with this.
For us, it was a struggle to get through season 4.
Yeah,
And we were watching it as it came out. It was just no.
No, it's just it didn't have really anywhere to go. No. So I felt in the world after season 4 where Mike's still alive. Yeah, and
It's a bit more interesting if they'd have, shot Skylar season 1. That'd be great.
Well, Walter Jr. was meant to die season 1, wasn't he?
So was Jesse, right?
Yeah. They were
Jesse and Walter Jr.
It was meant to be, from what Parano draft was, Crazy Apes. Was meant to stay in Walter's basement basically for the whole of the first season. And Walter was going to rig up a shotgun, so if he tried to escape, he would shoot himself. So Walter Jr. goes down there, and Crazy at the last sort of fit grabs Walter Jr. and triggers the shotgun and kills it, and he ends up killing Walter Jr. at the same time. And you say, actually, right, Jesse was not meant to make it out the first season. And you get it when you watch it, actually, you feel that he was not meant to make it out, but
because the character ended up being quite popular. They were
Yeah.
like, oh hey, well.
Which is not a bad thing, people like the characters, keep them on, that's sort of responding to your audience, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, just think about it, if they'd have killed him off, this film wouldn't exist. Where would they
That's
go
very
after
true.
that?
But I think Jesse's whole story with David is basically, he's definitely a sort of opposite to Walter, whereas Walter stars always a very by the book, good person, so forth, descends into darkness. Jesse's always been the opposite, and he actually turns and comes round.
See, I don't really know. I think Jesse's more misunderstood. He's the good kid who fell in with the bad crowd.
Yes.
And that just seems to be where he's comfortable. I've got a few friends that are quite like Jesse. They're good people, but they fell in with a bad crowd, and now they're so used to that lifestyle, they find it difficult to get back out of it.
Yes.
They don't get given the chance. Like for me, it became less of a story of Walt and a coming of age story for Jesse, and going, because in the end it went full circle.
Yeah. Once he started getting involved in relationships and so forth,
he grew up because of everything that was going on around.
And he, and Walter sabotaged him several times. I mean, yes, he got in a relationship with that girl who was the heroin addict.
Yes,
and it wasn't a healthy relationship, but Walter proper sabotaged that.
Yep. Yes, the
air traffic controller's daughter. Jane.
I can't remember her name.
I think it was Jane.
I remember how she died, but I don't.
Yeah, there's because a bit where he's in air traffic control and he misreads a play instead of saying Juliet, which is the phonetic alphabet, when he says Jane. I think it's also a slip where he says it the wrong one. That just gives you a clue that's shit's about to go wrong when he directs a play wrong.
Yeah. Because you always wonder what's up with that bear in the pool.
Yeah.
Was it the bear in the pool?
Yeah, it's bear in the pool. Yeah. Well, I think people would have worked out, because if you actually look at the episode titles, it's...
Oh yeah, for sure, but it's still just the way they looped it around it. Because didn't they do that in like episode 1 or 2?
Yeah, episode 1 of season 2 is the first shot of the bear, and you wonder what's going on. And then it's sort of... and then it's only when you realise, and at the end you realise it's a flight number that is down over and it's crashed over. Ironically, over Walter White's house specifically, which is very really strange coincidence.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Yeah, I agree. So, Vince, don't do it. Stop.
Make a film about Skylar. Do that.
Yeah. Or Walt Jr.
Yeah. Force me to like those characters, because I did not like Walt's family that much. I really didn't.
Yeah, Walt Jr. was a bit weird.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I didn't like the wives in that series.
Marie was the only one who annoyed me. I said Skylar, didn't mind. Walt Jr., I could see people annoyed him, but I really didn't mind him. Marie, I didn't like. I didn't like a character at all. Hank grew on me. I didn't like him when I first saw him.
No, same.
I thought he was really cocky. Actually, you realise actually his character is a lot more complicated. All that bravado is actually just a big show.
Yeah, which is usually the case with jock type guys anyway.
Yeah, so it's all showing off. Actual fact, it wasn't. Because I mean, if I decided for the first episode when he hands Walt Jr. a gun. It's like, no, you don't do that. I mean, I know I'm not American, so it's probably British. It's probably British opinions coming through there. But I am. But he grew up. I mean, he definitely was the big sort of. Him and Jesse are probably the characters that have the most development, actually changed the most throughout the season. Because Walt actually turns quite nasty quite quick, actually. When you watch it back again, you realise actually Walt... The actual turning point where you say Walt has gone full evil. For me, turning point for Walt going through is when he gets Gale killed. Yeah. Because Gale, to me, was actually a totally, I don't want to say innocent party, but... He was killed purely to save Walt's own skin. He wasn't necessarily a bad person. Yes, he was cooking meth, but he was cooking because he wanted. He thought people were going to be addicted anyway. They might as well be addicted to safe stuff or safer stuff than one for impurities. And the only reason he gets killed is so Walt can save his own skin. It's not like protecting himself against some bad drug person who's already a nasty piece of work. And getting Jesse to do it. That was the moment to me when Walt. Proper like, okay, you are now a nasty piece of work and I hope you die. Yeah.
You could tell he was a pretty dark guy from Dot 1 in the grand scheme. Yeah.
But that was the moment.
He was horribly bitter. And in the grand scheme though, that's how I saw Skylar as well. Yeah. They were both desperately after something that they just could not have.
But they could have had if Walt hadn't have abandoned what he was doing. They could have had it.
No, I mean before the series even starts off.
Yes.
They'd made a few bad choices, and life just hadn't gone.
Walt specifically made a really bad choice, and Skazz sort of went along with it, but you can tell she's not happy about it. But she's going along with it, and you get very on the idea that they're struggling to make ends meet. She's selling as much as they can on eBay and so forth. And you get that feeling, and you realise, which I'm not sure. I don't know how much I know a science teacher makes in America, but I mean, it must.
It's odd actually because I've got again a couple of friends who are teachers who have just recently gone to America from here. So I mean, I'd imagine they earn a reasonable amount.
I would have thought they earned a reasonable amount. I mean, they're probably not paid like not as much as he would have been.
But then again, in fairness, he has a disabled child, and that's not going to get covered
yeah,
by.
no, of course, yeah, it's probably. But he's
I
probably got
have the same disability as Walt Jr.
Yeah, but he's probably got insurance for the school though, hasn't he?
They're probably not going to cover him for as much stuff as Walt Jr. would have probably needed in the grand scheme.
I don't know how it works, to be honest. I know the basics, but I don't know in depth how all that sort of thing.
Well, let's put it this way: if I was in America, I'd have been dead from all the surgeries that I've needed just to be able to walk.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it's a great system, apparently.
Bollocks to it.
Yeah. So our first discussion of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And I'll retrieve Middlemeister.
How bad we are as judges of character.
Yeah. I'll retrieve Middlemeister, but I've got nothing else for this podcast.
Can I just throw out there, honestly, I would like to see a series of Skylar, Walt Jr. and what's her name again?
Marie?
Yeah. See where they go. She didn't die, did she?
No, she hasn't died.
Like, see if she kind of cleans herself up and stops being such a fucking mentalist.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Marie is a funny character because, yeah, she's got problems. She's kleptomaniac, but she does stand by Hank when he goes and he has his moments and he really goes pathetic.
Yeah.
She does stand by when he's all eccentricities as well. So she actually puts up with a hell of a lot. I just don't like her as a character, but she puts up. Well, actually, both the girls put up a hell of a lot from there. Then obviously that side of the family aren't very good at judging people.
No, really. Like I said, the thing I don't like about Skylar is just fucking. She's bitter. She's just bitter and nasty from day one. Like everything's everyone else's fault, and she.
She has got a bit too. Yeah.
And that's that. Just as soon as people start doing that, well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. This is all because of everything else around me. That really irks me right from. You know.
No, I get that.
I understand she's got everything piled on top of her, but there's no need to be a dick.
No, I get that. I can see that. She does blame, particularly later on, she blames Walt for a lot of stuff that's gone wrong. When in actual fact, although he is responsible for some of it, in actual fact, she is a part in that as well. I do though think she does try and. I mean, she tries to make something out by helping try and launder the money. She's trying to make something out of it, to make something good come out of it, just not very effectively. So
I think she starts to go a bit. She goes overly selfish. I mean, at the end of the day, that she's gone on a power trip, but then Walt's on a power trip. Walt gets a taste of the things that he could have had before he fucked up before the start of the series.
Yeah.
And. I don't know, a bit two-dimensional. I don't know, I just didn't like Skylar.
Yeah. I went into it, I had heard a lot of people didn't like Skylar, and I also went into it, I couldn't see it personally.
I think maybe you could have been coloured because you'd heard that everyone
possibly,
didn't like Skylar.
But then a lot of people don't like Marie and I didn't like Marie. And my opinion, a lot of people seem to share my opinions of Hank as well, so...
maybe.
So, it's...
I don't know, I can't really say. Maybe there's just something about Skylar's character you don't click to that other people do.
Yeah, maybe.
On Skylar, I will say a poor judge of character.
Yes, definitely. Of course.
Evil woman. I think everyone in that family's pretty fucking dark.
I think the nicest person's Walt Jr., isn't he?
Yeah, poor fucking
kid. He's got a great...
The fact that they use him as a crutch as well in a lot of cases, like, well, I have to do all this stuff for my children. It's like, you're doing this for yourself, man. You've been doing this for yourself for a long old fucking time.
He's doing it for himself right up to the point that the cancer gets cured. At that point, he could stop. Because, he goes for the treatment and he's basically making money to pay for the cancer treatment.
Yeah.
At that point, once he's cured of it, he could just stop. He doesn't, though.
Nope.
He has an out. He has a way to walk away, but he doesn't.
He's had that taste.
He decides to stay now, and that's sort of the first sort of descent. I mean, a lot of stuff that happens to him in the first series, you can see happens out of desperation. So when he first decides to try and pay for his camera making drugs, and that stacks up to the point where he ends up with someone in Jesse's basement, tied up with a bike D-lock.
Yeah.
That you realise, and when he figures out that the guy's going to kill him, which is a powerful moment actually when he puts that plate back together and he realises there's a big piece missing, and he knows the guy's going to kill him.
Yeah.
That's
because he starts to think that there's a bit of a
he's going to let him go.
Yeah.
And he doesn't. And he thinks he actually has a breakdown when he realises this guy's not. He's obviously thinking, oh well, this guy's going to be. Oh, I'll let him go and he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But he suddenly realises, no, this guy's going to fucking murder me. That's a really powerful moment. The first season is all about desperation. Everything that happens is basically him coming up with ideas and pushing people and pushing Jesse to a place where he shouldn't really go. He pushes Jesse to be a dealer and so forth, and that causes problems. And he then does react to desperation. But as it goes on, there are plenty of places he could have walked away.
Yeah, I think that's probably another thing that I don't like about those two characters. It's greed.
Yes,
that just does not match with me at all.
Yes,
I do not like greedy characters.
Yeah.
If you end up with a reasonable character at the start, and then even for a blip of a second, you show even a hint of greed, they're gone.
Yes.
For me, disconnect.
Yeah.
Because I pretty much stopped watching Breaking Bad for what was going on with Walt and his family. I'd lost complete interest. It was more, as you say, about Hank, Jesse, and what was going on with them. Pretty much every time Walt ended up on the screen, I was like, just go away, man. Like, no one gives a shit about you anymore.
No. No.
Seeing like how much shit Walt would cause and how Sol would have to fix it, or Mike would have to fix it.
Walt is that he's such a coward as well. He's a greedy coward. When he gets put up, he really panics. When he gets put up against it, he will do anything to save his own skin.
Yep.
He's a proper little coward. He won't stand up for his own bad decisions. Say when the girls.
It's never his fault again.
The girl's a perfect example. Perfect example. I mean, he could have dealt with that other ways, but But that moment, no, I want to get killed. I must get him dealt with. That's a brilliant moment when he rings up Jesse and basically just tells him Gail's address, and Mike. You often see Mike go shit, but Mike went shit then, and that was a great moment. I actually thought. But he is such a Walter is not a nice person.
No.
He's not a person to be looked up to be respected. He has no real redeeming features about him. A lot of what he says is just justification for his own thing. I mean, all stuff about his own family. It's all just justification, basically, to allow him to have all this money. Not everybody needs. You don't need your entire family all to have £100,000 supercars. At the start, you don't need that. But he does it because that's his own justification. I'll do it for my family. Let's do it for my family.
Well, that was the way that he could justify getting the things that he wanted had he have stayed with Kramer.
Exactly.
So,
yes,
because that's the lifestyle that he could have had.
He gets given an out so early on, doesn't he? Because they offer to pay for it. His ex-partner says, "I'll pay for your treatment." I thought out. He gets given
because he's such a bitter asshole about how his life turned out.
He says no, and that's serious. Because if he'd said yes, okay, that would have been there. But I also think the other thing about Walt is that his entire life he's not really been in control. I don't think he's felt in control, and all this time he's been teaching and so forth. He's not really been just an employee and so forth, and he's probably a little bit put upon at home. And also,
another thing I didn't like about Skyler as well, constantly just hammering on and on and on.
But then all of a sudden he has this feeling, and for once in his life he's got control of something he's done himself.
Trouble is that went to his head in a very bad way. Yeah,
very quickly, which is shown very early on. I think it's only about episode 4 or 5 where they literally offer to pay for his treatment. He says no, just as an excuse
to keep doing what he's doing.
Because for once in his life he's got control, and that's what he's always really craved, is that control. And the pattern having power's went to his head. Actually, he didn't have a lot of power at first. He didn't get a lot of power until quite late on. But all just goes to his head. Unfortunately, when he gets all power later on, that's when it all drops down because he doesn't use it really. He just gives it all up. He kind of gets what he wants. He gets a big, powerful, bad person in. This is back to what another point over season 5. He doesn't then form an empire. He just stops.
Yeah.
which would have been far more interesting if he built an empire up and then he comes crashing down.
Yeah, well, he ended up right at the top of the game, and rather than doing something with it, just little bits started falling apart at the bottom. Because he didn't know what to do with that level of power.
Yeah.
He didn't know where to go with it.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny that because he only really he had that taste of power. He was in control. He was doing something important, but he was never at the top.
Which actually proves part of reason probably why he was never actually successful after Grey Matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because he actually, partly because he's a coward probably as well, he can't actually do it.
Yeah, he needs other people to, he feeds off of...
And he bullies other people as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he bullied Jesse so much
to
do what he wanted to do. That's what I've been taught to. When you're in a shitty situation, try to change it or stop going on and on about it. Yeah. And he bullies Jesse mad. Forces him to become a drug dealer. Forces him to step up his game. And you think to yourself, Ross, this isn't really... You're making this guy... He was quite happy to do what he was doing, to be like a low level person. He wasn't... but you're pushing him to have these big grand moments. I mean, Walter was a real bully.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so...
Asshole character.
Yeah.
Who's your favourite character in the entire series?
Well, everybody says Jesse.
No.
I liked Hank. Hank really grew on me. I like Mike. I like Gus. Oh, favourite character. I actually think it's hard for me to pick a favourite character, but I would definitely have Gus as a villain is really good.
Yeah.
Really well played. Really good. Really controlling. Even right to the very end, when he gets killed, he walks out, and his last sort of act is just to strain his tie and go, "Well, this is going to die." Yeah, this is going to die smart. Mike's whole thing with the way he does things, and so they'd probably be I honestly couldn't pick one. It'd be one of those if I had to. I can't quite decide who I want out of all of them.
What's the old man's name? Hector, wasn't it?
Hector, yeah,
Hector.
Hector's
Love
son.
that old man.
Yeah. Senator Ding.
Love that old man.
Well, you find out what happens to him in the season 3 or 4 of Better, so you find out actually what happens to him.
Right.
How he ends up like that.
I'll have to... Right, and I'm going to have to watch Better Call Saul now, because I actually like that old
Honestly, season 2 is a struggle to get through. Season 3...
Which was season 2? I can't remember what happened in season 2.
So season 1 is where he sort of gets his law, doesn't he? He starts his elder law practice, doesn't he? And that's at the very end he finds out his brother betrayed and was the one who stopped him getting a position.
Is that season 2 is the one where he's skiving around the pool all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, and he actually gets a proper job as a proper lawyer at a proper law firm to help for the case on the care home, the Sandy Piper case.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
so that's where he gets a proper law firm. That is by far the weakest season because it's so slow paced. Season 3 though is, without spoiling it, is where it starts to really pick up.
Sure.
And he starts becoming more and more like Saul Goodman. And every season he's gradually tipping there.
Sure.
So yes, definitely season 2 is a slog. I won't. But you do need to watch it to know where you are, because it's quite. And there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of. Otherwise, you'll be saying season 3, the finale of season 3 is probably one of the best finales I've seen. Personally, I think I've seen better than the Breaking Bad finales anyway, and better than most series finales. The way it ends, so interesting. Season 4 not quite such a high, but the seems to be ending so well. But it was one of those finales that
have they wrapped it up?
No, they reckon they're getting very close to the point they're nearly going to start clashing with Breaking Bad's timeline very shortly.
Right.
You can see that Saul Goodman is starting to come through and starting to appear, and you can see how all the bits and pieces set up. There's a lot of core forwards and so forth to later seasons. Actually, if you look into it, apparently if you watch Breaking Bad after watching Better Call Saul, you'll see so many things that have been sort of pulled over.
Yeah.
I think they've said they've got another couple seasons left.
Don't ever do it.
No, I think that sounds to me that sounds about right. Because where they've got to now, that sounds about right. There's a fantastic little bit of editing right towards the end of the season. Well, some good editing. They've always been good at filmography. There is a one shot in season. I think it's season 2. Might be 3 actually. No, season 3. Yes, season 3 is when Gus reappears.
Right.
So he makes well seen, and you see how he gets involved with Mike, and how they start to get involved about the ties to the end, how it all sort of ties together. And season 3, there's this fantastic shot that looks like it's one continuous shot. In actual fact, I found afterwards there's actually a couple of clever cuts that are really well hidden. But it's literally like a 5-minute long shot where they follow this lorry crossing the border, getting checked, and off it goes into the States. There's some other shots later on, I won't spoil them. There's one shot that made me jump out of my seat.
Right. I'll be looking forward to that one.
Yeah, that's quite late on. You'll know when you see it.
Sure.
But yeah, season 3 and 4 definitely pick up the pace quite a bit. I reckon there's going to be probably I think they said another couple of seasons, and that sounds about right. Whether we'll see any more, because it's obviously you see a bit of at the start of each season, you see a bit of Gene, the Soul's new identity, but you only see at the start of each season. In actual fact, over the last there's only been like only a section at the start of each season. It's actually developing a little story, and it's how it's progressing, and that's interesting. So hopefully we'll see.
I hope they wrap it up well. Please don't make a follow-up film.
Yeah, no, don't make a follow-up film. It's gonna. Some people speculate that it's gonna. There's one bit in season 4 where we actually cross over to the Breaking Bad timeline where he's actually shredding up all his paperwork in his office.
All right.
So that's.
So they have leapt quite.
So we've seen stuff after Breaking Bad. That's the first one we've seen during Breaking Bad. Then it jumps back to before Breaking Bad.
Sure.
But I think it's going to very shortly catch up with it.
Right.
So, but yeah.
I'll have to check that.
Yeah, well, I say season 2 you'll find no sod, but season 3 and 4 do pick up quite well.
Cool.
Right, shall I retrieve Middlemeister?
Yes.
And then we can, unless you've got anything else, we can wrap up.
That's it. We're done.
Cool.
I dragged that out longer than we needed to.
Yes.
I still hate Skylar.
Good.
Make a Skylar film. Make a film about a character I hate to see if I can actually.
What would you call a Skylar? Skylar Skives? I don't know. You may return, Middlemeister.
Oh, okay.
You need to come and tell me to wrap up. Come on, hurry up.
Yeah.
Tom, what's your opinion of Walt's wife?
Pretty unlikable piece of trash. One of the reasons, like, if I wasn't into it, I wouldn't go back to it because of her.
Yeah, I don't like her at all.
Anyway, so have you got anything else before we close up, wrap up?
No, I'm done.
Cool. Right. So very much for joining up in the TheSuffolkRam.
I've been Middlemeister.
Skazz.
We hope you enjoyed episode 101.
101.
Yeah. So this is the educational lesson, obviously, because it's episode 101.
Yeah.
And the next year you come to episode 102, where you go advanced topics of random nerds.
And this is related to a bit of the old Room 101, you know.
Yes, yeah, everyone, everybody hates everything, so, you
Yeah.
know, and actually wasn't there a real torture in 1984?
Yeah.
People torture.
Yeah.
And if anything about
No,
random nerds, it's definitely torture.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for watching. We will see you in a fortnight.
Rockin'. Yeah.
Bye.